Rise with Nat, and for the last time, Kochie. Kochie, congratulations. You will be very, very missed.
Developing now, the Brittany Higgins tech scandal deepens. A senior minister accused of misleading Parliament over the secret messages. The PM is live.
Happening now, Melbourne home invasion surge, 9 in just 24 hours. How police plan to stop the attacks.
Breaking overnight, shocking attack. A Syrian refugee stabs children in a playground.
Up and away, Qantas and Jetstar to connect Western Sydney with the world. How the new airport will change the way you travel.
Plus, you Buddy Beauty, a stunning salute overnight to mark his 350th game.
And it's the end of an era.
I don't know how we're going to get through this.
I know. The real stories behind Kochie's most famous moments.
Mate, you took your time.
Hey,
how are you? Good to see you.
Joseph, how tough? Tough as
The final farewell.
Congratulations on an incredible innings at Sunrise.
Kochie, we'll miss you.
It's Friday, the 9th of June, 2023.
This is a special farewell edition of Sunrise on 7. After 21 incredible years, live from Brekkie Central, Kochie and Nat.
Hello and welcome to a very special morning here on Sunrise. After 21 incredible years, we are saying farewell to Kochie. It is going to be a remarkable show, packed with some very special guests and just a few surprises.
Good morning, Nat. Good morning. Lovely to be here. Rizo's off sick. You've got me for today.
If you don't know the reference, we'll show you the tape of the very first show of him saying that to Mel.
Oh, God.
That was actually pretty good. There was a bit more head wobble.
I cringe when I look at it. God, how I ever got this job, I have no idea. But it has been one heck of a ride so far. So many wonderful memories over the years. Looking forward to the adventure that is going to be today's show. I've got no idea what's going on, so it's going to be a wild ride.
It is. It's going to be a great celebration. Stay tuned and hang on. But we'll begin with the news of this Friday. The federal government is under increasing pressure this morning to explain its involvement in the Brittany Higgins case following claims Finance Minister Katy Gallagher misled Parliament over her knowledge of the former Liberal Party staffer's rape allegations. It comes after text messages between Higgins and her partner David Shiraz surfaced, where he told Higgins, quote, "Katy was going to come for me with some questions you need to prepare for. She's really invested now. She's an old friend." Higgins then replies, "Pass my details on to Katy. I'm happy to talk to her." Live to Rachel Baxter in Canberra. Rachel, this contradicts the minister's previous statements.
Well, it does, Nat. Senator Gallagher has angrily denied any knowledge of the rape claims before the story broke, and those text messages you just mentioned there between Higgins and her fiancé David Shiraz were sent 4 days before the accusations against Bruce Lerman first aired on Channel 10's The Project. And then there's the audio recording too between Brittany and television host Lisa Wilkinson brainstorming which friendly politicians they could get on board. The allegation Senator Gallagher misled Parliament actually traces back to 2 years ago when former Defence Minister Linda Reynolds claimed senior Labor figures had been tipped off about Brittany's allegations before they were aired in the media.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
No one had any knowledge. How dare you? It's all about protecting yourself.
Now, Linda Reynolds says she'll refer a multi-million-dollar compensation claim paid out to Brittany Higgins to the new National Anti-Corruption Commission. As for how much taxpayers paid Brittany and exactly why remains a secret, Nat.
OK, thank you, Rachel. Here's Kochie.
Well, a disturbing new crime wave is sweeping through the streets of Melbourne, with criminals appearing to try to outdo each other. Let's go live to Tegan Doling in Melbourne. Tegan, police are concerned about this rapid rise.
Yeah, good morning, Koch. They are, and it seems it's cars, drugs and money that are really driving this spike in crime across Melbourne. We've actually just received some new vision of two crooks breaking into an ATM, or trying to break into an ATM using power tools in Epping on Tuesday morning. Now, they left empty-handed, as did two others who broke into a Melton home. This was an aggravated burglary. It's the lowest of the low. They actually assaulted a 92-year-old man in what's believed to be a case of mistaken identity, because when they broke into that home, they were asking for drugs and money which simply weren't inside the house. Now, the Chief Commissioner, Shane Patton, has spoken out about this. He says that it has been a rise and a spike in these aggravated burglaries. That was actually one of 9 that had occurred in the last 24 hours. He believes that these crooks are actually boasting about it on social media, going on there and are talking up what they have been doing. And that's actually one way that the police have been able to catch them, Kochie. They have been able to catch up with a few of them who have done these aggravated burglaries. They have been charged with multiple crimes, some of them even on bail for doing very similar break-ins.
All right, Tegan, thank you.
Let's get more news now. Here's Eddie.
Thank you, Nat. Good morning. We have some breaking news now. And a 16-year-old boy is in custody following a stabbing in Ipswich. Emergency services were called to Rosewood, where they found a 39-year-old woman and an 11-year-old girl with numerous wounds to their abdomen. They are believed to be the boy's mother and sister and were both taken to hospital in a critical condition. The teenager is assisting police with inquiries and will have a live report very soon. France is in a state of shock following a horrific knife attack at a playground, which has left 4 young children fighting for life. 7 News reporter Sally Geit is in London on this story. Sally, brave bystanders actually tried to stop him as he fled the scene.
Yeah, using only their bags as protection. Eddie, good morning to you. The usual tranquility in the eastern French alpine city of Annecy was cut through by screams of terror when a knife-wielding man leapt into a playground and went on a stabbing attack, injuring 4 toddlers, some in their pram, aged between 22 months and 3 years old, as well as 2 adults. French authorities shooting the man in the legs and arresting him. They say the suspect is a 31-year-old Syrian national with refugee status in Sweden. His motive is unclear. However, it doesn't appear to be terror-related. President Macron has led a chorus of condemnation, calling this attack as absolute cowardice. Eddie?
Thank you so much for that, Sally. There are fears of blackouts this morning over concerns the country's biggest coal plant is closing prematurely. Eraring, owned by Origin Energy in New South Wales, could shut as soon as 2025, 7 years earlier than expected. The energy industry is urging the state government to intervene and keep it open until more renewable power is created, with warnings that if no further supply is built, the country may not have capacity to meet evening peaks by as early as 2026, and it could also fuel more price rises. State and Territory Police Ministers will meet in Brisbane today to sign off on their recommendations for a national gun register. It comes in the wake of that deadly police ambush on a rural Queensland property in December. The new proposal will close a loophole within our gun laws so firearms can be traced from their creation to their destruction. It's hoped it will then be presented to National Cabinet when it reconvenes. A Queensland man accused of going on a naked rampage in Aceh is on his way home after signing the final paperwork at an immigration centre in Indonesia.
See you. Bye-bye. 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 See you next time.
Bodie Risby-Jones is expected to arrive in Australia in the coming days. Well, plans to attend Vivid may be derailed for Sydney-siders this long weekend, with track work set to go ahead despite huge crowds forecast. Let's go live to Liam Tapper in Sydney. Liam, this sounds like absolute chaos. Bad timing, to say the least.
Oh, you can say that again, Eddie. If you're thinking about getting public transport to Vivid, you could be left livid this long weekend due to these track works that are going to take place on every single line across the network. The worst one that's going to be impacted, though, that's the City Circle here at Circular Quay, where we are right now. And how it's going to look like major delays due to track work, and there might be also replacement bus services, but we are expecting close to 500,000 people coming through the gates here at Vivid this weekend. But public transport officials, they say that they're trying to do these works outside of peak hours to make it an easy trip for people if they are coming in. But the message is quite clear, Eddie, either plan your trip well in advance or be patient. and enjoy this harbourside spectacular.
Yeah, and try not to get livid at Vivid. I like that. Thank you very much for that, Liam. There have been multiple crashes in Queensland overnight, including an alleged drunk driver who smashed into a parked car on the Gold Coast. It's understood the woman was found unresponsive in the vehicle following the crash in Nerang. Another driver lost control and hit a street sign. That was in Southport. It was a possible DUI, police saying they were found in possession of drugs, while another alleged drunk driver collided with a tree in Logan. It's been revealed the vehicle at the centre of a fatal crash in Western Victoria that claimed 4 young lives was declared unroadworthy just weeks before the tragedy. Investigations are ongoing to determine the exact circumstances surrounding the crash that killed 3 teenagers and a 31-year-old woman. It's understood the sole survivor of the crash, 17-year-old Georgia Fox, remains in a stable condition in hospital. The fallout from PwC's tax leak scandal has now deepened after the company's head of public relations called it quits after just 3 years in the role. It comes as the Senate considers taking action against the consultancy firm after it was given the full list of the 63 staff involved in leaking confidential government briefings to clients. Vape retailers in South Australia are on notice this morning as the state government ramps up its crackdown on illegal nicotine vapes. During a 2-month blitz, so-called problem businesses will be targeted, with 200 already identified. New rules put the onus back on shop owners to prove their products don't contain the banned substance, and if they do, retailers face fines of up to $10,000. Over the past year, 15,000 illegal nicotine vapes have now been seized. Australian researchers have made a scary discovery about the impact of long COVID on the brain. They found that brain cells can fuse together long after infection, with dangerous and potentially irreversible consequences.
Bethany Wormald has a passion for pounding the pavement.
I used to be a 6-day-a-week runner.
Even setting a Guinness World Record for fastest marathon dressed as a TV character. But a debilitating battle with long COVID changed that.
Now I can walk a kilometre, but at my worst I could walk like 10 metres. The fatigue was so debilitating that my GP was saying, this is serious, this is long COVID.
Researchers at UQ think they may have found the cause.
We think that when they fuse, this can be completely altered.
They found long after a COVID infection, neurons in our brain can connect together, potentially leading to chronic neurological issues.
It is a bit scary, it is.
The cells can be seen extending across the brain and fusing to others, like electric wiring, dangerously close to short-circuiting.
Start functioning at the same time, which they're supposed to do, or they stop working altogether. Either way, it's not good for the brain.
Potentially explaining the fatigue and brain fog that lingers with long COVID.
If found in long COVID patients, researchers then face 3 challenges: how to detect it, determining if it's reversible, and how to treat it without harming the brain.
Hopefully helping those who suffer from it long after COVID. Ned Baum, 7 News.
Smoke haze from the wildfires in Canada continues to spread along America's east coast, with the dangerous fumes now impacting more than 120 million people. Let's go live to US Bureau Chief David Woiwod. David, this smoke could hang around for several more days.
Yeah, it certainly could, Eddie, and that is because these fresh waves of smoke from, as you say, these Canadian wildfires just keep on coming, blanketing America's east coast. 123 million Americans are under those air quality alerts today. Cities hit hardest include Philadelphia, Washington and New York, really choking under this blanket of smoke that's been caused by 400 fires burning in Canada. It's forcing the cancellation of flights. More than 400 flights have now been grounded. Public schools in New York have gone to remote learning today, and of course it's causing those obvious health concerns.
It's crazy, yeah. I usually don't have a problem, like I'm a runner and stuff, and like when I walked outside I was like short of breath, which usually doesn't happen to me, but it's like super dusty.
I've never seen it like this. After 40 years of living here, this is bizarre.
The United States has today committed to sending more firefighting crews to Canada, but right now there is no reprieve from these conditions. Those strong winds that are needed to move this smog along just aren't there, meaning that these conditions, Eddie, could hang around for a couple more days yet.
Thank you so much, David Woodward, there in the US. There are calls to transform office towers across the country that were made vacant by the pandemic into residential apartments. Experts say that while workers are returning to CBD offices, the overall demand for office space in cities has fallen. Advocates say it would also ease the country's ongoing housing crisis as development approvals remain at record lows. Double demerits are now in force across New South Wales and the ACT for the King's birthday long weekend. Tougher penalties are also in place, with drivers warned police will be targeting speeding, drink and drug driving, mobile phone use and seatbelt offences. Double demerits end at 11:59 p.m. on Monday. Ukraine's president has visited the flood-stricken region of Kherson following the destruction of a major dam. Volodymyr Zelensky has called for international help for those affected, describing the situation as absolutely catastrophic. Hundreds of people are still being rescued after water from the dam submerged homes, fields and roads. 600 square kilometres of the region is now underwater. Pope Francis is recovering well after his first night in a Rome hospital following abdominal surgery. In a statement, the Vatican said the results of his first post-operative tests are good. The chief surgeon who operated on the 86-year-old says he expects the pontiff to remain in hospital for up to a week. Prince William has opened a new state-of-the-art cancer facility at a hospital in South London. As he prepared to tour the new facility, William was thrilled to be reunited with the matron he first met while doing work experience at the hospital nearly 20 years ago. The Prince of Wales then spent time with some of the first patients being treated at the centre. One patient getting a huge laugh as he told William, "Oh, he's a tall bugger, isn't he?" Witty William replied that he was wearing heels. Now, we've compiled all the best royal news, pandas, tiger cubs, Kochie, for your last news bulletins coming into the last show.
All right. Thank you.
What are you doing?
Just Carl and I are texting.
Oh, no. Focus on the task at hand.
I asked whether he got a bet on the sports bet book on me crying or not on the show, and he said, no, my missus closed my account last year when I bet on the camel races in Dubai.
Uh-oh. Well, as we walked in, you were already crying.
Lovely.
Someone wants some money.
Such a good bloke. All right, speaking of good blokes, Sam Matt. Oh, he's here.
Kochie.
We've let him in. It must be a big day.
It is a big day, isn't it, guys? I actually feel like a real weatherman as well. There's a map behind me. What's going on with this? Feels so foreign. Obviously, huge day ahead. We're going to be roaming around Brekkie Central. Oh. Obviously, family members coming in. And if we definitely want to see you cry, I just need to get the grandkids on, really, don't we? So I'll be working on that for later on. Massive day ahead, guys. Can't wait. But let's do an early check of your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon Stocktake Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stocktake Sale on now.
Mostly sunny for Cairns, sunny for Townsville, sunny for Maroochydore, Brisbane sunny and 24. Also sunny for the Gold Coast today. Sunny for Coffs Harbour, morning fog for Dubbo, cloudy for Broken Hill, Sydney sunny and 20 degrees. Canberra, partly cloudy, 13. Partly cloudy for Mildura, shower or two for Bendigo. Melbourne, showers easing, 15 degrees for your Friday. Showers easing for Launceston as well today. Hobart, shower or two and 13. Showers for Mount Gambier. Partly cloudy for Ceduna. Adelaide, shower or two and 15 degrees. Sunny for Alice Springs. Darwin, mostly sunny and 33. Partly cloudy for Albany. Cloudy for Kalgoorlie. Perth, showers and 18. Sunny for Broome and sunny for Carnarvon. As always, I've been instructed to keep it tight, keep it quick. We've got a lot to get through today, a lot of highlights. We've got to show Todd and Brant a few more times. So, it's going to be a massive farewell, Kochie. Bring it on.
All right, thank you, Sam. Just ahead on Sunrise, Australia on top. The Aussies battle it out, spanking the Indians. The title of the best team in Test cricket.
And jubilant scenes at the SCG for Buddy Franklin's 350th game. All the celebrations are coming up.
And Paris the pop star, the hotel heiress, puts on a party to remember in Hollywood with a special shout out to Kylie Minogue.
But first, let's check in with the House of Wellness team to see what's on today's show.
Coming up today on the House of Wellness from the Melbourne Cricket Ground, we feature some of the world's most extreme sports.
Like cliff diving. Wait till you see champion Rihanna Ifler's form.
And we check in with Beck Danaher for the very latest for Fight MND.
And rumble boxing, it's taking over the fitness world.
See you this Arvo.
Sunrise, brought to you by Optus Pause. Make family time count with a break from the internet. Be part of the Living Network.
Welcome back. Barrett's has sport and it's big.
Spot on. It is a big day in sport today. Australia's pace attack has demolished India's top order on the second day of the World Test Championship final in London. How good is this? Steve Smith joined Travis Head to claim a century before the Australians were all out for 469. They were just as dominant with the ball, with all four quicks taking early wickets.
Oh, another one not offering a shot. Cameron Green is overjoyed. Australia are overjoyed.
Yeah, India will resume tonight at 5 for 151. The action at the Oval continues tonight. It's live and exclusive. It is a feast of cricket. It's on 7 and 7+. Join in the fun. Speaking of which, Lance Franklin's 350th AFL game was spoiled by a pretty determined St Kilda at the SCG. But he kicked 2 goals to jump ahead of Geelong great Doug Wade into 4th on the all-time scoring list. But it wasn't enough to claim a fairy tale victory. Max King kicked 3 to secure the Saints' 80-66 win.
Their pressure was very good. You know, they had 95 tackles, but we'd made some basic errors, particularly with ball in hand, that really cost us some basic skill errors.
The AFL legend was cheered from the SCG after the game, while the Saints' Dan Butler is set to come under scrutiny by the match review officer after a dangerous tackle on Nick Blakey that saw him subbed off. The New South Wales Blues injury crisis continues after Api Coruscant suffered a broken jaw against the Titans overnight. The West Tigers skipper copped an elbow in the face from Maroons enforcer Tino Fasua Malawi and was immediately sent to hospital. Coach Tim Sheen says it is a major issue.
Well, it looked like an elbow to me, but I won't make any real fuss about it until I see it. The jaw's broken and badly broken, right? Fractured it there and there.
More bad news after the Tigers' 28-12 loss. Luke Brooks limped off the field with a hamstring injury. Unseeded Karolina Muchova has upset world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka and progressed to the French Open final after a thrilling 3-set win in the semis. A win at Roland Garros would have pushed Australian Open champion Sabalenka into world number 1 status, but Muchova had other plans.
All the talent in the world. And now she'll showcase it in a Grand Slam final.
Yeah, Muchova will face top seed Iga Swiatek in the final. Have a look at that just behind me today. An outpouring of emotion already. People are turning up. We will miss you in all the favourite photos.
Oh, that's my Elvis.
Oh,
oh my God.
What a collection that is.
Yeah, I love it.
I thought
Thank
that
you,
was
mate.
Elvis.
Elvis is back in the building. Coming up, should Labor be referred to the Anti-Corruption Commission as more details of the leak of Brittany Higgins allegations come through? The Prime Minister is live.
Breaking news, a crime scene west of Brisbane. A teen arrested, a woman and a girl wounded.
Plus, prepare for takeoff, how Western Sydney's new airport will connect the region to the world.
Also, Chris Hemsworth in Spain for the premiere of his new movie. All the pictures are coming up as they say farewell, Kochi.
Koshi, we watch you every morning in the makeup room. We're going to miss you so much. Love you, bye.
Hey Koshi, you've been part of our lives for so long now, and we are really going to miss you. Lots of love and lots of luck with whatever the future holds.
G'day Koshi, you have been the sound of my household for at least the last 20 years. It's going to be so sad to see you go. Best of luck, mate.
G'day Koshi, congratulations on a magnificent 21 years, mate. Well done. I can't wait to see what you're going to do with the next 21. Hopefully you'll have a bit more time to make sure Port Adelaide stay at the right end of the table and also to reintroduce yourself to your family. Just be careful early on walking around your front yard. They might bring up the police and report some old bloke for trespassing. Mate, I hope you have a wonderful future. I'm sure you will. Good luck and thank you very much for everything.
Developing now, the Brittany Higgins text scandal deepens. A senior minister accused of misleading Parliament over secret messages. The PM is live.
Happening now, Melbourne home invasion surge, 9 in just 24 hours. How police plan to stop the spree.
Breaking overnight, shocking attack. A knife-wielding man stabs children in a playground.
Up and away, Qantas and Jetstar to connect Western Sydney with the world. how the new airport will change the way you travel.
Plus, you Buddy Beauty, a stunning salute overnight to mark his 350th game.
And it's the end of an era.
I don't know how we're going to get through this.
I know. The real stories behind Koch's most famous moments.
Mate, you took your time.
Hey,
how are you? Good to see you.
Joseph, how tough? Toughest thing I've been.
The final farewell.
Congratulations on an incredible innings at Sunrise.
Koshy, we'll miss you.
It's Friday, the 9th of June, 2023.
This is a special farewell edition of Sunrise on 7. After 21 incredible years, live from Brekkie Central, Kochie and Nat.
Hello and thanks for joining us on a very special morning here at Sunrise. We are celebrating Koch's stellar career and saying farewell. It's going to be a remarkable show, packed with special guests and just a few surprises.
God, it's been an adventure. It's a heck of a ride. I have so many wonderful memories from over the years. Looking forward to the adventure that is going to be today's show. It is going to be wild.
But we'll begin this hour with the news of this Friday. The federal government is under increasing pressure this morning to explain its involvement in the Brittany Higgins case, following claims Finance Minister Katie Gallagher misled Parliament over her knowledge of the former Liberal Party staffer's rape allegations. It comes after text messages between Higgins and her partner David Shiraz surfaced, where he told Higgins, quote, Katie was going to come for me with some questions you need to prepare for. She's really invested now. She's an old friend. Higgins then replies, pass my details on to Katie. I am happy to talk to her. Live to Rachel Baxter in Canberra. Rachel, this contradicts the minister's previous statements.
Well, it does, Nat. From the get-go, Senator Gallagher has angrily denied any knowledge of the rape claims before the story broke. But those text messages between Higgins and her fiancé, David Shiraz, were sent 4 days before the accusations against Bruce Lerriman first aired on Channel 10's The Project. There's the audio recordings, too, between Brittany and television host Lisa Wilkinson brainstorming which friendly politicians they could get on board to effectively prosecute the allegations in Parliament. In fact, Senator Gallagher was questioned on this 2 years ago when former Defence Minister Linda Reynolds claimed senior Labor figures had been tipped off about Brittany's allegations before they were aired in the media.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
No one had any knowledge. How dare you? It's all about protecting yourself.
As for where this stands now, Nat, well, Linda Reynolds says she'll refer a multi-million-dollar compensation claim paid out to Brittany Higgins to the new National Anti-Corruption Commission, a body that was championed by Labor at the federal election.
Thank you, Rachel. Here's Kochie.
Well, a disturbing new crime wave is sweeping through the streets of Melbourne, with criminals appearing to try to outdo each other. Let's go live to Tegan Doling in Melbourne. Tegan, police are concerned about this rapid rise.
Yeah, good morning, Kochie. They are. It's cars, money and drugs what's really driving this huge spike in crime across Melbourne. And the fact that these crooks are actually boasting about it on social media. We've got new pictures in this morning which shows two men breaking into an Epping service station. They used power tools to try and steal an ATM. Now, they left empty-handed, as did two others. Now, this is a horrendous crime. They actually broke into a Melton home and assaulted a 92-year-old man. That's believed to be a case of mistaken identity, and it's one of 9 aggravated burglaries that occurred in the last 24 hours across Melbourne. The Chief Commissioner's come out and spoken out about it. He says, you're right, there is a huge spike, and the police are doing everything they can to try and curb this from happening. The crooks are going up to homes, they're trying to open car doors and steal them, and a number of them have been caught. It seems they are doing multiple break-ins a night. Kochie.
All right, thank you, Tegan.
Let's get more news now. Here's Eddie.
Thank you, Nat. We have some breaking news now, and a 16-year-old boy is in custody following a stabbing in Ipswich. Let's go live to Georgia Costi, who's in Rosewood for us this morning. Georgia, what more do we know?
Well, Eddie, what's alleged to have occurred here in Rosewood last night is incredibly confronting and concerning. Police say a 16-year-old boy stabbed his 11-year-old little sister and 39-year-old mother multiple times in the stomach. Now, it isn't quite clear what exactly led up to such a violent altercation, but both of those females needed to be rushed to hospital in critical conditions, and that's where they remain this morning. Now, detectives and forensics spent the night going through the home and interviewing neighbours about what they might have heard or saw. This morning, that boy hasn't been charged yet, but Eddie, we do understand he's facing the serious charge of attempted murder.
More details to come. Thank you, Georgia. France is in a state of shock this morning following a horrible knife attack at a playground which has left 4 young children fighting for life. 7 News reporter Sally Gart is in London with the details. Sally, brave bystanders actually tried to stop him fleeing the scene.
Using their bags for protection. Good morning to you, Eddie. French authorities shot this man in the legs and arrested him after he went on a stabbing attack through a playground in the French eastern alpine city of Annecy. They took him down and they say he's a 31-year-old Syrian refugee with refugee status in Sweden. His motive is unclear. However, investigators say it is not terror-related. 4 toddlers aged between 22 months and 3 years old, as well as 2 adults, were injured in this attack, something that the president has described as absolute cowardice. Eddie?
Thank you, Sally. Plans to attend Vivid may be derailed for Sydney Slutters this long weekend, with track work set to go ahead despite huge crowds forecast. Let's go live to Liam Tapper in Sydney. Can't believe this timing, Liam. What a shocker.
It's an absolute shocker, Eddie. A bit of train pain for those commuters who are going to be heading into Vivid this weekend, with major track works taking place on every single line across Sydney. And the worst impacted, guess which one? Well, it's the City Circle here in Circular Quay where we are right now. The government, it says it couldn't be done any other time, but the message is simple to those almost 500,000 people who are expected to come to Vivid this weekend, is to plan ahead and please, just be patient.
Yes, very good advice. Thank you so much, Liam. Well, Christmas was 6 months ago, but the tree is still up in a town square in East Yorkshire, and for a very good reason. Now, among the branches, a small visitor has taken up residence. Not a partridge in a pear tree, as you might expect. It's a pigeon in a conifer. And while the Christmas tree is admittedly looking a little worse for wear, the pigeon is staying put, and it's actually against the law in England to take, damage or destroy the nest of any wild bird. So the Christmas tree stays put. And I think they just spray painted it for next year, perhaps. Here's Koch with finance.
Thank you, Eddie. The American share market up across the main board and also tech stocks as well. Higher than expected jobless figures. Sort of improved market sentiment because hoping that will stop the Fed from increasing interest rates any further. To our region yesterday, we were down 22 and 18 points on our major indices to the commodities, and gold is trading at $1,963 an ounce. Oil edging up over those after those OPEC production cuts last week, $73 an ounce a barrel, and the Aussie dollar above 67 US cents, 53 British pence, $1.10 New Zealand. Here's that.
It's Kochie coming up. Jubilant scenes at the SCG for Buddy Franklin's 350th game. All the celebrations are coming up. Plus Australia on top. The Aussies battle it out against India for the title of the best team in Test cricket. And Melissa Doyle is back at Brekkie Central as we say a final farewell to Kochie. There will not be a dry eye in the house.
I hope he has a moment to reflect on the achievements and the contribution. Extraordinary career.
Hopefully you don't do too well this year in the footy with Port Adelaide, but thanks for all the years you've been here, and yeah, wish you all the best.
The lifeblood of TV for like over 2 decades, so I'll just miss his whole personality.
Congratulations, Kochie. Thanks for all the memories and good luck in the future.
Good luck for the future, mate.
Like mum and dad have the TV on and you like walk past and you're brushing your teeth and you're like, oh, there's Kochie. Like, I know I'm not extremely old, but I've grown up with him in a sense.
Oh. Oh, thank you,
That was
everyone.
lovely. Yeah. Beautiful messages there from viewers in Brisbane, in Perth and in Shepparton.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, everyone.
We're going to celebrate big time today. Lots more coming up and lots of surprises too. Welcome back, everyone. Brett has sport.
Speaking of surprises, Nat, have a go at this. This is the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023 trophy and it's paying us a visit today. Yes, go woo, because it is fantastic.
The actual trophy.
The actual trophy the Matildas will hopefully lift at the end of the tournament. Australia and New Zealand are hosting the FIFA Women's World Cup beginning next month, of course. The trophy is on the final leg of its biggest ever world tour. It's just visited 32 of the tournament's participating nations. It is bronze and gold and polished aluminium and is the original trophy designed for the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup. Now, it can only be held by heads of state and members of the FIFA Women's World Cup winning team. So, Nat, much as you like it, you can't touch it. And we hope that our Matildas will be holding this trophy in August, which would be fantastic. Now, the FIFA Women's World Cup 2023 trophy is touring Australia June and July. For locations, head to the FIFA website and have a look when it comes to you at this magnificent trophy. Now on to other sport, and Australia's pace attack has demolished India's top order on the second day of the World Test Championship final in London. Australia were all out for 469. All four Aussie quicks took early wickets as India finished 5 for 151 at stumps. Day 3 is live and exclusive. It is here on the screens of 7. It wasn't an ideal celebration for Lance Franklin in his 350th game after the Swans were down 80 to 66 by St Kilda. But he managed to kick 2 goals and jump ahead of Geelong great Doug Wade into 4th on the all-time goal kickers list. But it wasn't enough to claim a fairy tale victory. Max King kicked 3 to secure the 14-point win for the Saints. A major blow for the West Tigers and New South Wales Blues after Api Coruscant suffered a broken jaw against the Titans overnight. The West Tigers skipper copped an elbow to the face from Maroons enforcer Tino Fasua Malawi and was immediately sent to hospital, while Luke Brooks limped off the field with a hamstring injury in their 28-12 loss. Just magnificent, isn't it, to think where that trophy's been and where it will end up, and it's what everyone is after in next July, June, July, when the action starts. We're away.
So only heads of state and winning teams.
Correct.
Ever allowed to hold it.
Yeah. Hey, and the prize money set last night too. Individual player, you win the Women's World Cup, each player will receive $270,000. Plus there's millions each player on that team. Of the 22 players in that team.
That.
Yeah. It's a great scheme. So
do they.
Oh, yeah.
The nation gets a pot of millions of dollars, which is great, but then each player receives $270,000.
Yeah, and great for women's sport, isn't
Fantastic,
it?
yeah. It's
really
a real breakthrough prize money deal.
Okay, thanks, Brett. Let's get a weather check. Sam Mack is with us. We've let him in to Brekkie Central.
Yeah, that's right. Good morning, Nat. Beware. Look, very exciting day, emotional day as well, and a real testament to how loved you are, Kochie, with the turnout from the staff here this morning who've come in to send you off. They are just itching to give you those hugs, to high-five you on the way out. It really says a lot about your character and your influence on this show. But I thought, look, I've got to help. How can I help Kochie on a busy, stressful day? I've got the way that I can help you, the method that I can help you. Number one, because I'm going to do a lot of help for you this morning, coming up after your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon's Top Take Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stock take sale on now.
Sunny and 24 for Brisbane, Sydney sunny and 20, Canberra partly cloudy and 13, Melbourne showers easing 15 degrees, Hobart shower or two, top of 13, Adelaide shower or two and 15, Perth showers and 18, Darwin mostly sunny and 33. How can I help Kochie on his last day? It came to me very quickly and very simply. I just need to pack up his stuff. So not in a nasty way, not in a let's get rid of you kind of way, more in a I know you're busy, I want to help out. So as you can see, we have basically all of Kochie's worldly belongings. That was my favourite. I mean, number 3 was good, but 5 really is when it hit the scratch, wasn't it? We're going to get rid of this. Now, I don't remember this from the show. What was this? The Koch Head Award. What was that?
That was the stupidest politician of the week. Back in the early days. Right. Remember that?
You'd be cancelled for that. These days, you'd be cancelled for that.
It's a toilet roll holder.
We should bring that back,
mate,
actually.
I am happy to help in any way that I can help out today. I'm going to do my bit. Now, let's move through. Oh, look at this, Kochie. This is Kochie's office. Well, this was Kochie's office. It seems like someone's already taken over and had a bit of an influence on Kochie's office. What's going on here? Let's have a look. Oh, my goodness. What is happening? The Shermanator. This is This is literally where Kochi used to sit. For 21 years he sat here. Sherbo has already had his influence on this area. That was his Vladimir Putin era. Who could forget that? He's got a to-do list. Sherbo moves fast. Look, get Sherbinator trending, get my name top billing, i.e. Sherbo and Nat. He's really thought about this. More sprinting highlights on the show, early 2000s in particular. Do we need weather? Yes, we do, Sherbo. We do need weather. I mean, you got to say, look, credit to the man. He moves fast and he moves well. Kochi, your desk is done. That's one task done. We'll see you with more in half an hour. Desk is sorted. Fantastic.
Funny. That is great.
See, they said in the weekend paper that publicity tried to bury that one with him and the horse.
That is very clever, Sam.
That is good.
That's great.
Oh, gee, this is going to be a good morning ahead. Also ahead on Sunrise, the big smoke. America's biggest cities are paralysed this morning. Still, a live report is next.
Plus, the family of an Aussie mum trapped in Thailand, in a Thailand coma, speak out. The clause in their travel insurance that's left them with no cover.
And 17 years on from the Beaconsfield mine rescue, Todd and Brant join Kochi on the couch to say farewell with a story you've never been told before now.
I miss waking up in the morning to watching you on TV, but I'm really excited to see you more often at school events or sport games.
Thank you for all the amazing memories over the years, like letting me come into work with you and Carol's in the domain. I love you. Enjoy your time at Poppy. Congrats.
We're really excited with this news. We're retiring. We're so proud of you with what you've done with Sunrise. You've done a lot for the last 21 years.
We're really proud of you for retiring, and also I'm also proud of you because you're way to also spend and more of your time in Channel 7 because you're 66.
Oh, that's so gorgeous. Oh, thank you very much, everyone. Some beautiful messages there from Kochi's grandkids, and they're going to be joining us just to make sure you cry later to say goodbye.
The Gyres arrived yesterday from Perth, which was lovely. So we took them around Vivid last night. So really
everyone jetting in from around the world.
Now, news of the day, smoke haze from the wildfires in Canada continues to spread along America's east coast, with the dangerous fumes now impacting more than 120 million people. You heard me, 120 million affected. Let's go live to US Bureau Chief David Woodward. David, this is massive, isn't it? The smoke could hang around for several more days.
Yeah, it certainly could. Good morning, Kochi, and that is because this smoke from, as you say, those Canadian wildfires just keeps on flowing over that northern border there, blanketing America's east coast. 123 million people are now under those air quality alerts today. Those cities hardest hit, Philadelphia, Washington and New York, are really choking under this blanket of smoke that's been caused by 400 fires burning in Canada. It's forcing the cancellation of flights. More than 400 flights have now been grounded right across the country. And in New York, those public schools there, they have gone into remote learning today.
It's crazy, yeah. I usually don't have a problem, I'm a runner and stuff. And when I walked outside, I was short of breath, which usually doesn't happen to me. But it's super dusty.
I've never seen it like this. After 40 years of living here, this is bizarre.
Yeah, apocalyptic pictures coming out of the east coast of the United States. No reprieve on the cards just as of yet. It also means that you've missed a bit of a trick here as well, Kochi. If you had have actually broadcast your final day from the east coast of the United States, you'd have a little bit of cover for those tears that we are expecting later on today. You could have perhaps said you had a bit of smoke in your eyes. But, mate, from everyone here in the United States, just a massive thank you. You've been such an encouragement and a stable hand on those massive news days.
Good on you, Would really appreciate it. Thanks, mate. Here's Nat.
Well, still to come, another big win for Wrexham Footy Club. The hilarious announcement from Ryan Reynolds is next. Plus the political foes who then became friends, from climbing Kilimanjaro to that viral video. Kevin Rudd and Joe Hockey are live to farewell Kochi. All those shots. And the Sunrise family reunion doesn't end there. Sam is back too, and she has some advice for life after sunrise. Just leave me.
Hi, Kochi. I'm very glad we're still speaking after I cut off your tie on Sunrise all those years ago. Congratulations on an incredible innings at Sunrise, and I know everybody will miss you.
Big fella, congratulations on a stellar career. It's been a privilege to be able to share in your journey over the past 19 years. I'll be forever grateful for the opportunities you've created for me.
Kochi, congratulations, and thank you so much for waking up with us every day on Sunrise.
Looking forward to seeing you at the club a bit more and you spending your time with your family, so congratulations again.
Kochi, congratulations mate on an amazing career. I just want to wish you all the best for life after the show, mate.
I still remember as a young tackle waking up and you're on the TV back then, so it's been a long career. Congratulations for breaking all that news over that time period.
It's a great chance for us to give a couple of big shout-outs for our chairman. 3 cheers. Hip hip. Hooray!
Hooray! The extended family.
We have received so many messages wishing Kochi well on his final day at Sunrise, including from trainer Todd there, who you started with when we did a story on Fitness First.
Yeah, and my first, when I did Kilimanjaro the first time, Fitness First said, "Oh, we've got a bloke who can train you up." I thought trainers were for wankers until I went to Todd. He changed my life. And for 19 years I've kept going back to him every Wednesday, as you know, 10 to 11 is Todd and my time, so he's part of my little squad to keep an old body going.
Yeah, and Mick Fanning there, of course, Sir Richard Branson, and of course some of the Port Adelaide crew.
Yeah, thank you fellas. News time now, here's Eddie.
Thank you, Kochi. The federal government is under increasing pressure to explain its involvement in the Brittany Higgins case, with Finance Minister Katie Gallagher potentially facing a referral to the new National Anti-Corruption Commission over claims she misled Parliament about her knowledge of the former Liberal Party staffer's rape allegations. It comes after text messages between Higgins and her partner David Shiraz surfaced, with the latter claiming to have been in contact with Gallagher days before Higgins' interview with The Project went to air. Conflicting with statements the minister had no knowledge of the story before it was made public. TV presenter Lisa Wilkinson is also facing criticism after she was heard mocking the pre-selection of country Liberal Indigenous Senator Jacinta Price. The audio was leaked from a 2021 conversation between Wilkinson, Brittany Higgins and her partner.
Has pre-selected over 20 new and wonderfully diverse and strong female candidates, like, and what's her name, Nampinjamba? She's an Indigenous woman.
Clearly it was a safe seat.
That's the thing.
Gee, we know brown people.
It's like,
I'm not racist, I have a black friend. Yeah. That argument. I don't have his number.
Sorry.
In breaking news, a 16-year-old boy is in custody following a stabbing in Ipswich overnight. Emergency services were called to Rosewood, where they found a 39-year-old woman and an 11-year-old girl with numerous wounds to their abdomens. They're believed to be the boy's mother and sister and were both taken to hospital in a critical condition. The teenager is now assisting police with inquiries. 4 children and 2 adults are fighting for life following an horrific attack in the French Alps. Police say a man armed with a knife entered a children's playground in the town of Annecy and went on a rampage. He was pursued by onlookers as he fled the scene and within minutes was detained by police. The children aged between 22 months and 3 years are in a critical condition. A disturbing new crime wave is sweeping through the streets of Melbourne, with criminals appearing to try to outdo each other. The concerning trend has seen 9 similar home invasions within the past 2 days, including that sickening assault on a 93-year-old Melton man attacked in front of his wife. Police say the suspects are aged between 13 and 18 and are even posting their crimes on social media. Vape retailers in South Australia are on notice this morning as the state government ramps up its crackdown on illegal nicotine e-cigarettes. Let's go live to Nathan Regter in Adelaide. Nathan, morning to you. They could face thousands of dollars in fines.
Yeah, they certainly could. Good morning, Eddie. Now, we know vaping is addictive, it's dangerous and it's on the rise. And it's because of all of that, authorities here want to try and stamp it out. So over the next 2 months, the South Australian government will crack down on businesses trying to sell nicotine vapes. Now, already 200 problem stores have already been identified. And if retailers are found to be selling these illegal substances, they could be slapped with a $10,000 fine. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. iceberg. The Commonwealth Government has already flagged its plans to ban all non-prescription vapes right across the country. Eddie?
Thanks, Nathan. If you're planning on attending Vivid in Sydney this long weekend, you may want to rethink how you get there and get home with track work set to go ahead despite huge crowds forecast. The City Circle, North Shore and Bankstown train lines are among those impacted, with bus replacements planned and extensive delays expected. The state government has been criticised for the timing of the works, but they say it's part of a 12-month maintenance blitz of the network and it's too critical to delay. Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney have announced a blockbuster sponsorship deal for their football club Wrexham in what's being hailed as the funniest way possible. The club has just signed with United Airlines after securing its promotion to the English Football League for the first time in 15 years.
United, that's a major airline. It's a banner day for the team and the town. The city. Right, Wrexham City. I still prefer town.
I do too, but I think we got to button this up a little bit, Ryan. We are now in the EFL.
It's a massive financial boost for the club as the players prepare to travel to the US for their pre-season tour. Well, for the final time, here's Kochie with finance.
Tuned on a night for you on the markets. The Dow up 182 points. The tech stocks up 130. You beauty. That fixes your superannuation up. Let's look at the market yesterday. Yes, another bottler day on the Australian share market. Let's flip the graphic. Yep, perfect. Just down slightly. We'll skip over that quickly. Commodities looking good. The gold price at $1,963 an ounce. Oil $73 a barrel. And you're all saying, what's happening to the dollar? What's happening to the dollar?
What's happening to the dollar?
67.11 US cents. Last chat on Sunrise with my mate at CommSec, Craig James. Craig, we're going to talk about one of my favourite things, the share market. The market's looking more settled now. Where do we go from here?
Oh, Kochie, the only way is up for the markets. We've got ahead of the regional banks. The problem in the United States, that's out of the road. The Credit Suisse UBS thing is out of the road as well. The debt ceiling is out of the road. We've just got to conquer inflation, and I think the central banks will be able to do that.
Craig, how many years has it been that you've been doing the finance section here?
Well, Kochie, you know I'm not very good with numbers, so yes, I'm not too sure in terms of the how long it goes back, but certainly it's been a long time. But let me give my thanks from on behalf of CommSec to you for all you've done over the time. You've brought mainstream, you brought finance to the mainstream media, to the morning shows with Sunrise, Kochie's Business Builders. We've had you on Sky Business as well. To bring that to the pay television network. Ozbiz, you've been incredible. You should be honoured for your services to finance, and hopefully that will be the case. And I'm going to very much miss our talks in the morning.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Thank you for that and for helping us understand what's happening to our money throughout the years, mate. Really appreciate it. We'll catch up soon. See you on Ozbiz as usual. And of course, you can get my Friday newsletter, Your Money and Your Life. Just go to my socials. There's a link there. Every Friday, the most important thing that's happened to your money. So you don't need to get rid of me yet. Here's Brett with Sport.
Sunrise, brought to you by Optus Pause. Make family time count with a break from the internet. Be part of the Living Network.
Some very good news from the cricket overnight. Australia's pace attack has demolished India's top order on the second day of the World Test Championship final in London. Australia all out for 469. All four Aussie quicks took early wickets as India finished at 5 for 151 at stumps. Day 3 is live, it's exclusive, and it's right here on the screens of 7, your home of cricket. It wasn't an ideal celebration for Lance Franklin in his 350th game after the Swans were down 80-66 by St Kilda. But he managed to kick 2 goals and jump ahead of the great Doug Wade into 4th on the all-time scoring list, but it wasn't enough to claim a fairy tale victory. Max King kicked 3 to secure the 14-point win for the Saints. Major blow for the West Tigers and New South Wales Blues after Abby Coruscant suffered a broken jaw against the Titans overnight. The West Tigers skipper copped an elbow to the face from Maroons enforcer Tino Fasua Malawi and was immediately sent to the hospital, while Luke Brooks limped off the field with a hamstring injury in their 28-12 loss. And there you go. Beautiful finance report, Kochie. Thank you.
Thank you, Brett. What about Wrexham too?
Yeah, isn't it a great story?
To explain to people, they play in like the Coffs Harbour League, don't they?
Pretty much, yeah.
And they get United Airlines. Yeah. That's star power from
I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly.
Look into it.
Speaking of star power, Sam Mack is with us here at Brekkie Central.
Yeah. Good morning, Kochie. We're going behind the scenes. We've already packed up your desk. You're welcome, mate. But I thought we also need to go to the green room and see who we can find, because there's a lot of special guests coming on the show today. And look who's here, your beautiful wife, Lib, your grandchildren, Lila, Oscar, Matilda. They are here bright and early. Obviously, they're in the show later on. Good morning, Lib. Good morning, everyone. This is such an emotional time, isn't it? Well, it feels that way for everyone here. How has David been this week?
I mean, it is an emotional time, but I said to him last night when we were going to bed, I said, "Oh, how do you feel last time setting the alarm?" And he goes, "I'm just really tired." But yeah, it is.
I think that's everyone in Breakfast TV. We're just really tired. You can tell.
What's new?
Yeah. Do you think that this is going to change your life dramatically, not having that commitment? And what are the plans? Where are you guys going to go over the next few years? What's the plan?
Well, yes, it's going to change a little bit for Dave. He'll just get up a bit later and go to work. Now, he'll be our older kids that run our business will be like, terrific. We hope you'll be in the office, bright and early. Well, not too early on Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we say he's retiring, but he's still got 8 jobs, so he's not really retiring, is he? In a moment, there's a bit of a challenge. I've got a little bit of a challenge for you guys. You can help me with this, but we'll do it after your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon Stocktake Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stocktake Sale on now.
Mostly sunny for Cairns, sunny for Townsville, sunny for Maroochydore, Brisbane sunny 24, also sunny for the Gold Coast and Coffs Harbour. Morning fog for Dubbo, cloudy for Broken Hill, Sydney sunny and 20, Canberra partly cloudy and 13, partly cloudy for Mildura, shower or 2 for Bendigo, Melbourne showers easing 15 degrees, showers easing for Launceston, Hobart shower or 2 and 13 degrees, showers for Mount Gambier, partly cloudy for Ceduna, Adelaide shower or 2, 15 degrees, sunny for Alice Springs, Darwin mostly sunny, 33, partly cloudy for Albany, cloudy for Kalgoorlie, Perth showers and 18, sunny for Broome and sunny for Carnarvon. People may have noticed yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, Lib, but Sportsbet were taking odds on whether or not Kochie would cry on the people can actually bet on this on the final episode of Sunrise. Now, they were very particular. They said it can't be in a highlights package from something that happened 10 years ago. It has to be live on air on the final show. So I want to help some people earn some money. So let's make Kochie cry is the name of this segment. So it's all about the questioning. So let's start by, tell us about the man you fell in love with. What was it about David that made you fall in love with him?
Oh, well, I loved his character. Excuse me, you really put me on.
Now you're crying.
Yeah, I shouldn't have had that coffee. I should take David's lead and just have a black coffee. No, I'd love the. He was a bit different to the other boys. I met him when I was only 20.
Yeah. Who were the other boys, Liv?
No, but just 1 or 2.
Ask about Bruce.
This is not where we're going to be different tiers.
This is not where this segment was going.
Who's Bruce? Who's Bruce?
Oh my God, Father.
Who's Bruce, Matilda?
He was Dada's old boyfriend when Poppy met her.
Have you seen a photo of him?
No, but...
Oh, you've hidden the photos, have you?
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing here? Okay, this was supposed to be heartfelt.
Once I met David, that was it. There was nobody else.
Let's move on from that subject. Kids, I want to make him cry. I don't know if the tears are coming through yet. We might need a close-up. What's he like as a grandfather, as granddad, as Pop?
Well, he's always very kind and will always give us advice and tactics for our sport games, and he'll always support us and be there.
That's beautiful.
He's very positive and wants us to have the best life possible. Has a half glass full perspective.
Oh, that is amazing. Are we zooming in on Kochie's eyes? Surely there's some glasses fogging up by now. I love that. Now, if that hasn't made him cry, I've got one more way that we can help make him cry, and that is to read the 2007 grand final result. Barretts, could you help me out with... so we know that Port Adelaide kicked 6 goals, 8-44. And Barretts, what did Geelong kick on that day?
Sam, just from memory, Geelong 24-19, 163, Port Adelaide 6-8.
We got the tears! We got the tears!
Yes! Oh, that's broken him. He's broken.
He's crying again.
He's gone. He's gone down.
Well done, you guys. Amazing.
because at our engagement party, Lib's mum said to my mum, Bruce still holds a torch for Lib. So we never let her forget that.
Yes, now we'd like to put the call out. No, we wouldn't. That's it. We'll just move on. Thank you, Liv.
Oh, I'm in trouble.
You are, again. Soon on Sunrise, the Reserve Bank under fire again this morning. Coming up, the $25,000 lavish dinner after raising interest rates again.
Plus, Prince William channels Diana as he opens a new cancer centre in London.
And we have Koch's biggest celebrity moments as the stars share their farewell messages.
You were always so kind to me and such a big believer of my music, so thank you for all your support over the years.
This is a very special edition of Sunrise on 7.
Get ready for a galaxy of superheroes and superstars in a supersized week of Sunrise.
It is time now for our big giveaway.
Giveaways galore in the Sunrise Prize Factory. Join Nat and now join Shervo for a supersized Sunrise. And it all starts Monday.
Yeah, wait till Monday, will you? Morning. Morning, Brisbane. Sunny Friday ahead for you. Top of 24 degrees. Gold Coast also sunny with a chance of morning fog. Gorgeous at 23. Sydney mostly sunny view too. Chilly 9 degrees in the city right now. Heading for a top of 20. Keep in excess coming. Melbourne, few clouds this morning. Chance of showers. Thank goodness the roof will be closed up marble tonight as a mighty Port Adelaide take on the Doggies. Top of 15 for you. Adelaide, showers are also forecast over beautiful Alberton Oval and in the city as well. Also heading to a top of 15 degrees. Here's Nat.
Thanks, Kochie. The Reserve Bank is telling Australians to tighten their belts, but it's been revealed the RBA spent almost $25,000 of taxpayers' money hosting an exclusive dinner in Perth last month. Documents obtained by the West Australian newspaper under Freedom of Information show the total cost included a $4,300 drinks tab for 140 guests. The invite-only dinner was held just hours after the RBA hiked interest rates for the 11th time in 12 months. Joining me now, broadcaster Justin Smith and commentator Kath Webber. Morning to you. Morning. Justin, does this pass the pub test?
Doesn't even wow. It does not even come close. I mean, it has been a very long time in Australian public life that we've seen a group of people that are so disconnected. You know, when we have families that are trying to figure out different recipes to use cheap mince for, and then they do this. And I'm not joking, you know, that we know that that's really happening. People are struggling that much. But if you got the Reserve Bank here in front of us right now, particularly Philip Lowe, and asked them to explain themselves, they wouldn't get what the problem was with this dinner. And that is the problem. We'd still get that blank expression from Lowe on his face and that silly grin that he's got. And he would not get the problem with this. It's a damn shame.
Kath, they dined on grilled barramundi, risotto, lemon tart. They got the extra upgrades, the complete events solution package. What do you reckon?
No, it wasn't a solution, it's a problem, Nat. Do you know, I can't believe there's not one board member sitting at that table thinking, look, we do these things annually. We know Big Corporate Australia drops 25 grand and more on these kind of things to schmooze with the big end of town. Someone needed to say, over all the years, we put these on hold. It's not a good look. We should be having an afternoon tea out in the suburbs with everyday Australians to see how this is talking. It was about mixing with people, and the irony is it was like big companies, like your mining companies, people who would probably happily pay $250 or $500 to attend the event to schmooze with all the big wigs. So, you know, just put it on hold for a couple of years until this, you know, you actually understand what everyday people are going through. It's a really bad look, but I just can't believe there's not one person on that board who raised it.
It ended up being $166 a person. Now, as the cost of living continues to rise, customers are reporting that hospitality venues are increasingly actually asking them to leave a tip. Technology such as those online ordering systems, food delivery apps, even those EFTPOS machines are now asking customers if they would like to tip. Some even automatically select the tip for you, and then you have to actively opt out, which makes you feel really guilty, especially if you grew up Catholic like me. Justin, we are disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Justin, what do you think about this?
Oh no, I actually kind of like the way Australians tip. You know, it's it gets earned, and I think, you know, the way we sort of do it and the way we have been doing it is good. I tell you this, I make a vow now, and I think everyone should sign a pledge: never give a tip if somebody asks you for it. We don't want to go down that track.
So what if
really?
what if you opt out? What do you think of that? You know, they give you the thing, and then it's it's there.
It should be easy to leave a tip. It shouldn't be a difficult thing. I think they should still be able to get them, but don't get asked if you want a tip. Come on.
Okay, Kath, what about the flip side? Cost of living crisis, a nightmare. If you are working in the hospitality industry, you are not earning a lot of money generally. So should we be all leaving a tip?
Look, a good waiter or waitress, honestly, can be the difference between a spectacular night and a really horrible dining experience. So I'm all about tipping really great service if you can afford it. But, you know, we're not America. It's not a $7 minimum wage, and nothing annoys you more when you're in America and you have to tip even though it's terrible service. Like, it just encourages bad behaviour. So I think Australians are really generous, but, you know, like the finance guru and Koch would tell us, every dollar counts. So if you're happy to give it over because you've had a really good experience, then go for it. And I think we're generous in that way. And, you know, to Kochie, thank you for making me look at every dollar over all these years of doing it for 10 years. You're the only person that's made me understand money matters and how every dollar does count. And,
well, listen,
you know,
I'm planning on leaving a $5 on the desk here this morning for Kochie's last show. You know,
I'll do a $5 too. I'll match you, Justin.
Yeah, I think so. You know, just a little extra for that. All the best to you, Kochie.
He appreciates it. Thank you very much.
Good luck,
See you
Kochie.
next week.
Bye.
Well, the government is under growing pressure this morning to explain what it knew about Brittany Higgins and the scandal. The Prime Minister is coming up live. Breaking news, a crime scene west of Brisbane, a teen arrested, a woman and a girl wounded. Plus, prepare for takeoff, how Western Sydney's new airport will connect the region to the world. Also, Paris Hilton, the pop star, her party to remember, with a special shout out to Kylie Minogue as radio stars say farewell to Kochie.
All the best, Kochie. I reckon you deserve a knighthood for services to dorks. You've made us all look cool, all us boomer dorks.
Kochie, I just wanted to bid you farewell. We're going to miss you so much. You're literally the record holder for the longest running breakfast host in the world. And that is such an achievement. And we love you. You become part of our lives every morning and we're going to miss you.
Kochie, it's been a long time. We've been sort of paralleling it. You've been doing TV, I've been doing the radio. It just won't be the same looking at the screen. Love Shervo, but brother, you're Kochie. You're Mr. Sheen.
Welcome back to this special edition of Sunrise on 7. As we say farewell, Kochie, he's heading to the studio one last time. Gonna miss you.
Great to meet you.
You're getting up early. Everyone's come back. Chili Takeda, boys. Hey, JD. Wow. Thanks for coming. Gosh, you've been great. Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. I've got to hit the 7 o'clock. Don't fall away. Sage. How are you, fellas?
you for everything. I love it. Thank you. Oh, dear. Oh, quick, we've got to make the news. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Here we go. Oh, my God. Jeez. I was only joking with but yeah. Hold on, big fella. Right, thank you. Hold on. And Dougie at the end. Dave Walters, who was at the end there, has been with me in my ear for the entire 21 years. Worked for me with radio. He's telling me to rap in my ear. No, Dougie. He's been, like, you don't understand the supportive team that we have here on Sunrise.
Yeah.
Makes us go through it.
You speak.
And they're the true heroes of this show. Stop telling me to rap, Dougie. Oh, there's hundreds. Okay, yeah. All right, it's Friday morning on Sunrise. It's 7 o'clock for the final time at Top Stories. Developing now that Brittany Higgins' tech scandal deepens. A senior minister accused of misleading Parliament over the secret messages. The PM is live.
Happening now, Melbourne home invasion surge, 9 in just 24 hours. How police plan to stop the attacks.
Breaking overnight, shocking attack. A Syrian refugee stabs children in a playground.
Up and away, Qantas and Jetstar to connect Western Sydney with the world. How the new airport will change the way you travel.
Plus, you Buddy Beauty, a stunning salute overnight to mark his 350th game.
And it's the end of an era.
I don't know how we're going to get through this.
I know. The real stories behind Koch's most famous moments.
Mate, you took your time.
Hey,
how are you? Good to see you.
Joseph, how tough? Toughest thing I've ever.
The final farewell.
Congratulations on an incredible innings at Sunrise.
Koshy, we'll miss you.
It's Friday, the 9th of June, 2023.
Now back to Sunrise on 7 as we say farewell, Kochie.
Hello, thank you for joining us on a very special morning here at Sunrise. We are celebrating Koch's stellar career. I'm trying to sit up straight, saying farewell. It's going to be a remarkable show packed with some very special guests.
Good morning, Nat. You got me here this morning.
That is
21 years on.
That is a takeoff of Koch's very first show and how
still creepy.
He introduced himself. Mel was very professional. That was Kochie.
And nothing's going to change. It's been one heck of a ride so far. Some wonderful memories over the years. Looking forward to the event that is going to be today's show. That's all coming up.
But we'll begin this hour with the news of the day this Friday. The federal government is under increasing pressure this morning to explain its involvement in the Brittany Higgins case following claims Finance Minister Katie Gallagher misled Parliament over her knowledge of the former Liberal Party staffer's rape allegations. It comes after text messages between Higgins and her partner David Shiraz surfaced, where he told Higgins, quote, "Katie was going to come for me with some questions you need to prepare for. She's really invested now. She's an old friend." Higgins then replies, "Pass my details on to Katie. I am happy to talk to her." Live to Rachel Baxter in Canberra now. Rachel, the Minister has questions to answer.
Certainly, Nat, although she's furiously denied any knowledge of the rape claims before the story broke, despite those text messages you just mentioned being sent 4 days before the accusations against Bruce Lerriman were aired in the media. In fact, Senator Gallagher was questioned on this 2 years ago when former Defence Minister Linda Reynolds claimed senior Labor figures had been tipped off about Brittany's allegations.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
No one had any knowledge. How dare you? It's all about protecting yourself.
Now, Linda Reynolds says she'll refer a multi-million-dollar compensation claim paid out to Brittany Higgins to the new National Anti-Corruption Commission. Nat.
Thank you, Rachel. Here's Kochie.
And breaking news, a 16-year-old boy is in custody this morning following a stabbing in Ipswich. Let's go live to Georgia Costi, who's in Rosewood. Georgia, 2 people were seriously injured.
That's right, Koshi. What police allege happened here in Rosewood last night is absolutely shocking. They say a 16-year-old boy stabbed his 11-year-old little sister and 39-year-old mother multiple times in the stomach. Now, both of those females were rushed to hospital in critical conditions, and that's where they remain this morning. But what's not known is what exactly sparked such a violent altercation. That's what police here at the scene, who are going to re-examine it, will be looking to determine this morning. At this stage, the boy has not been charged, but Koshi, we do understand that he could face 2 attempted murder charges.
All right, Georgia, thank you.
Let's get more news now. Here's Eddie.
Thank you very much, Nat. Good morning. France is in a state of shock following a horrible knife attack at a playground that's left 4 young children fighting for life. Sally Guy is in London for us. And Sally, some brave bystanders actually tried to stop him fleeing the scene.
Using only their bags as protection. Eddie, good morning to you. The usual tranquility in the eastern French alpine city of Annecy was cut through by screams of terror when a knife-wielding man went on a stabbing attack in a playground, injuring 4 toddlers aged between 22 months and 3 years of age, some in their prams, as well as 2 adults. French authorities shot the man in the legs and arrested him. They say he's a 31-year-old Syrian national with refugee status in Sweden. His motive is unclear, however, say it doesn't appear to be terror-related. President Macron has called this attack as absolute cowardice.
Thank you, Sally. Melbourne is seeing a concerning rise in youth crime as criminals look to outdo each other. Let's go live to Tegan Doling in Melbourne. Tegan, there's been a number of recent home invasions that are very similar.
They have, Eddie, good morning. We've got new pictures into the newsroom this morning that show 2 men actually trying to break into an ATM using power tools. And that's just one of many part of this big crime wave that has swept across Melbourne. As you said, home invasions seem to be exactly what's happening at the moment. The worst, probably the attack of a 93-year-old man inside his Melton home. The Chief Commissioner has spoken out about this. He says there was 1 of 9 home invasions in just the last 24 hours. And Eddie, the way the cops have been able to catch up with these crooks is they're actually posting on social media to boast about their crimes.
Thank you, Tegan. A Queensland man accused of going on a naked rampage in Aceh is on his way home after signing the final paperwork at an immigration centre in Indonesia.
See you. Bye-bye. 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 See you next time.
Bodie Risby-Jones is expected to arrive in Australia in the coming days. Vape retailers in South Australia are on notice this morning as the state government ramps up its crackdown on illegal nicotine vapes. During a 2-month blitz, so-called problem businesses will be targeted, with 200 already identified. New rules put the onus back on shop owners to prove their products don't contain the banned substance, and if they do, retailers face fines of up to $10,000. Over the past year, 15,000 illegal nicotine vapes have already been seized. Plans to attend Vivid may be derailed for Sydney-siders, with track work set to go ahead this long weekend despite huge crowds set to visit. Let's go live to Liam Tapper in Sydney. Liam, talk about bad timing on this.
Oh, you can say that again, Eddie. We have been told that there's going to be major construction works on every single track, on every single line this the King's birthday long weekend. Now, the reason for this, the government said they can't do it any other time. However, we are going to get close to 500,000 people coming through the gates here at Vivid to see this Harbourside spectacular. However, they have a pretty clear message for anyone who is coming here to plan ahead, but also be patient, because we don't want to have too many people livid at Vivid.
Well done, Liam. Thank you so much for that. Paris Hilton has put on a party to remember in Hollywood. She's DJ'd a live concert with her famous friends for Pride Month. The hotel heiress played all the hottest dance tunes, including her 2006 fan favourite song, Stars Are Blind. She even blasted Kylie Minogue's new chart-topping song, Padum Padum, sending the crowd wild there. She's a great DJ. No in excess, though, sorry to say.
She's got a lot to learn.
She does.
Yeah.
She does. She's a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yes.
Brett has sport now.
Musical appreciation not quite there yet. Australia's pace bowlers were switched on right from the start against India on the second day of the World Test Championship final in London. Australia were all out for 469. All 4 Aussie quicks took early wickets as India finished 5 for 151 at stumps. Day 3 you can see live and exclusive right here on the screens of 7. It has been a great run for Australia so far. Lance Franklin's 350th AFL game was spoiled by a determined St Kilda at the SCG overnight, but he managed to kick 2 goals and jump ahead of Geelong great Doug Wade into 4th on the all-time goal kickers list, but it wasn't enough to claim a fairy tale victory. Max King kicked 3 to secure the 80-66 win for the Saints. Brad Fittler's Blues injury crisis continues to grow after West Tigers skipper Appy Coruscant suffered a broken jaw against the Titans overnight. Coruscant copped that hit to the face, an elbow to the face from Maroons enforcer Tino Fusua Malawi, and was immediately sent to the hospital, while Luke Brooks limped off the field with a hamstring injury in their 28-12 loss. Prize money locked in for the FIFA Women's World Cup. How's this? The winning nation, $4.3 million to the nation, to the federation itself. Each player gets $270,000. Each of the 22 players in the team, $270,000 if you win the World Cup. That's big, and it goes down. It's really good. It's really good. And say that, great for women's sport.
So they should. That's great, Brett. Thank you. Let's get a weather check. Sam Mack is with us here at Brekkie Central. What are you doing?
Yeah, kind of, Nat. Let's have a look. Even on Koch's last day, we're one big family here at Sunrise. I'm still 23 metres from the actual host. I can see you guys down there on what we call creeper cam. Give us a wave. Yeah, mainly on barrettes. Yeah, perfect, guys. Good to see you. Look, we are going behind the scenes today for Koch's big finale. We've already been into Koch's office to start packing up. We're going to head down there again soon because there's a few items we've found in there that I really feel we need to discuss. I mean, we've already spoken to Liv and learned about Bruce. That's a whole other story / Daily Mail article. But look, a big morning ahead here at Sunrise. Let's do a check of your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon's Top Take Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stock take sale on now.
Sunny for Brisbane, 24. Sydney, sunny and 20. Canberra, partly cloudy, a top of 13 degrees. Melbourne, showers easing, 15 degrees. Hobart, shower or 2, 13 degrees. Adelaide, shower or 2 as well today, 15. Perth, showers and 18. Darwin, mostly sunny and 33. It is a hive of activity here at Brekkie Central. It's the who's who of showbiz and politics and music. They're all coming up. They're all mingling in the green room. It is a big party to send off Kochie, so we've got a lot more to come. But for now, back to you, Nat.
Thank you, Sam. Finance Minister Katy Gallagher could become the first politician to face the new National Anti-Corruption Commission. The opposition says it will refer her, alleging she misled Parliament over the Brittany Higgins case. Leaked text messages suggest Senator Gallagher knew of Brittany Higgins' rape allegation before it was made public in February 21. But during Senate estimates later that year, Gallagher vehemently denied any prior knowledge.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
No one had any knowledge. How dare you? It's all about protecting yourself.
Let's bring in Education Minister Jason Clare and Deputy Opposition Leader Susan Lee. Good morning. Susan, that was the moment. Your party says Gallagher misled the Senate. What needs to happen here?
These are really serious and concerning issues, Nat. If anyone, a politician or a journalist, sought to politically profit from a rape allegation, then that is just morally bankrupt. So there are serious questions here, questions of character for Anthony Albanese and his leadership. Now, Katy Gallagher is the Finance Minister. She's the Minister for Women. She's a senior member of the government and part of the government's leadership team. And she's not answering basic questions.
Because there are two issues here, really, aren't there? That she, whether she knew about this interview, she knew these allegations before they came out in the interview, and then whether she has a conflict of interest about the payment given to Brittany Higgins.
It's a multi-million-dollar payout, and there are questions to be asked and answered there. But she hasn't answered the question that you've been asking, that your listeners have a right to know, and that every Australian has a right to know. She's in hiding. She's not stepping out and actually giving people the explanations that they need following the remarks that she made, which was that she didn't know, that she had no knowledge of the allegations prior to them becoming public. So it's just a simple question, and we just need that answer, and maybe Jason can provide it this morning on the most watched breakfast television show in Australia.
Oh, thank you, Susan. Jason,
Just
the
a quick
headlines.
plug for Kochi there.
The headlines this morning are text, lies, and videotape. This is not good for your government, is it?
Well, what Susan just said is wrong. Suggesting that Katie's not answering these questions. She was on ABC Radio answering these questions yesterday. Katie Gallagher is a person of the utmost integrity. You know Katie, I think you do as well. You would know that she's a person of integrity. And if the Liberal Party want to refer this to the Anti-Corruption Commission, then fill your boots. But remember what this is about. It's an allegation that a person was raped in Parliament House, 50 metres from the Prime Minister's office. That led to an inquiry that Kate Jenkins did that exposed the fact that 40% of women in the building have been sexually harassed. I know we're getting wound around the axle here about the politics of all of this. Please don't forget the people and the work that we've all still got to do that's not finished yet about making sure it's a safe place to work.
So, those allegations, though, that Katie misled the Parliament, that is a serious allegation, and that she had a conflict of interest about this payment that Brittany Higgins received. Should that be referred to the Commission? That is the question that's being asked today.
On the Commission itself, anyone can make a reference. Susan wants to walk outside today and make a reference to the Commission. You can do that. Governments don't say you must investigate this. It's not the way this Commission works. They can decide what they investigate and what they don't. I think Mark Dreyfus, the Attorney General, answered that question yesterday. He made this decision, not Katie.
The way you answer questions, of course, Jason, is to stand up in front of a press conference and actually front up. Now, that hasn't happened. We've also got another of your senior members of the government, Tanya Plibersek, who was mentioned in the text message exchange. She needs to answer questions. Both of those ministers are effectively not. And that's the problem. So I know we can jump ahead to referrals to integrity commissions, and of course that may well happen. And
well, it's in your hands.
It probably should happen.
Well, it's in your hands.
However, at this point in time, we need those questions answered. And unfortunately, Anthony Albanese, who said he would lead a transparent government that absolutely fronted up when it needed to, and I think he might be fronting up on your program soon, Nat, those questions are the first step in a process. This is serious and concerning, and you and I share everything that you just remarked about the safety of women in our parliament, but that's the issue. The issue is if anyone in this government sought to weaponise a rape allegation for political motive, then that is truly awful. Nat?
And are you going to refer her to the Commission?
We need to have those questions answered, and that's the next step. But I would support that referral, and I know colleagues have talked about it.
Okay.
And there is so much here that we simply don't know, but so much that the Finance Minister, the Minister for Women, does know and needs to explain.
Okay. Before we go, we know you have both been part of this program for a long time, and I know you'd probably both like to say something to Koch on his last day, Jason.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows what Koch's done here on Sunrise. What people may not know is the work Koch does behind the scenes helping young people in the western suburbs of Sydney in particular. There's a place in Macquarie Fields called the Koch Centre that's named after David and Libby. And it's there because of the work that both David and Libby have done with Father Chris Riley's Youth Off the Streets, helping kids that are homeless but also kids that have fallen through the cracks. He's helped change lives and save lives, and I've been able to see a little bit of the work that both he and Libby have done there. So on behalf of all of those young people, Dave, thank you.
You know, because that's your patch, obviously, Susan.
And Kochie has left an imprint on the national character, Nat, and has reached so many people through this program. He's been part of the big moments, some of the really sad moments of our lives, and we associate him with trust, with honesty, with bringing absolutely frank and fearless exchanges to the country, and I really wish him all the very best with the next steps of his lives, and I know that Sunrise and Australians will miss him.
Okay, thank you. That's nice. See, we argue it all out, and everyone has, you know, the tough questions given to them, but, you know, that's what everyone expects. So thank you very much.
There's no truth to the rumour that he's the next Reserve Bank governor.
Okay.
I'm up for it.
Okay, well,
Okay,
you're close
Jason.
to Jim Chalmers. And it ends in September, so you heard it here. Thank you very much.
Hat in the
Gosh,
ring,
yeah.
Jason. Thank you. All right, that's very kind of you. Thank you, guys. All right, let's move on. The construction of what will be Australia's biggest airport has passed the halfway mark, and Qantas and Jetstar are counting down to takeoff. The airlines have signed on to fly domestic routes from Western Sydney Airport as soon as it opens in 2026. The site is expected to see more than 80 million passengers pass through the gates each year. I don't reckon Australians know how big this is going to be. Western Sydney Airport Chief Executive Simon Hickey joins us now. Simon, this is a massive, massive project. How many flights do you expect at the airport in that first year?
Well, what we announced yesterday, Kochie, is that 25,000 flights just domestically alone, and that's just with the Qantas Group. So we're building a terminal now that is capable of taking 10 million annual passengers. So that's thousands of flights. That's not just domestically, that'll be across Asia and across the world. And we're going to bring those people to Sydney's cultural heartland, Western Sydney, and be the gateway ultimately to Sydney.
See, it's really interesting because I think a lot of people thought, hey, Western Sydney Airport will take all the cargo flights, maybe the discount airlines from Asia. But Jetstar and Qantas, in particular, it's premium airlines that are going to use that airport.
Oh yeah, this is actually, we're building for the future. We've got the future in mind, and this is actually about growth. This is about providing aviation capacity for Sydney. We know that Kingsford Smith is constrained, and so over the decades ahead, this is going to keep on growing and growing. It's going to transform Western Sydney, and because, you know, airports, great cities are built around airports, great modern cities. This will be a modern airport built for the next century.
Okay, because Simon, a lot of Australians would know this, but it's set to be, into the future, larger than Dubai, larger than Hong Kong, larger than New York Airport. So initially just domestic flights. How long will it be until international routes are introduced and the airport's running at full capacity?
So that's a great question. So what we announced yesterday was a domestic arrangement with Qantas, which was for 25,000 domestic flights just with them. But from day one, we'll have international flights. We're talking to international carriers. Obviously, what you want to do is you announce one thing at a time. We're talking to international carriers, and from day one, we will have an international network from here. We'll keep on growing over the decades ahead. We're starting with one runway. Ultimately, we'll have two.
Okay, all right. 2026, that's the opening, not far away. Simon, thanks for joining us. Hits that.
Thanks very much, Kochie. And can I say, on behalf of everybody at Western Sydney, what a fabulous job you've done over the last more than 20 years. And thanks for coming and bringing your authentic self every morning.
Oh, good on you, mate. Thank you for that. Very kind of you. Nat.
Thanks, Kochie. An insurance company is still refusing to help the family of an Aussie woman trapped in a coma in Thailand. Kylie Enright and her husband Paul were holidaying in Phuket when Kylie took a fall after a few drinks. She was immediately knocked unconscious and hasn't woken up since. The family's medical bills have passed $50,000 and it will cost an extra $200,000 just to fly her home. Insurance company Covermore won't pay a cent because they believe Kylie was heavily intoxicated at the time. Kylie's husband Paul and son Harrison join me now from Phuket in Thailand. Good morning to you. Firstly, Harrison, how is your mum doing?
She's doing as good as she can at the moment. We're really just taking it day by day.
Okay, well, look, our thoughts are with her and you and the whole family. Paul, let's get to this insurance thing because a lot of Aussies can't believe this. So Covermore claims Kylie had a blood alcohol reading of 0.37. How do they know that?
They've estimated her weight against her height, which weren't actually taken at the hospitals. They didn't do any blood and alcohol tests at either of the hospitals that we went to. They've had a walking expert come and look at how she walked before we went she was walking like when she went to the toilet, and the hotel bar bill, which again was only signed at 10:38 in the morning when we ordered the first drinks. And then from there, they've determined that she had, with the medical examiner, that she would have had a blood alcohol of 3.47.
Wow, a walking expert. I've never heard of that. Let's talk about the alcohol. They say you ordered something like 14 beers and 9 Long Island iced teas. Did you do that? Did you drink that? How much did you actually have?
I don't believe we had that much at all. 14 full-strength beers for me I would have been struggling to walk myself.
Exactly.
Never mind Chloe, and 9 Long Island iced teas. With a blood alcohol of that level, if you would search Google and that sort of stuff, she would be unconscious and possibly near death, and not able to be walking at all. So I just don't see that we ordered that many drinks there.
And anyway, Paul, we all go overseas and have a few drinks around the bar, especially in Thailand. So many Aussies are not going to believe that this can void your insurance.
Yeah, well, we never thought that. We weren't drink driving. We weren't on scooters. We weren't in the traffic or the public areas. We were at it was similar to, it was our home away from home. We were there for 14 nights to have a break, and it was the first day. We hadn't been there 24 hours, and we decided that we would have a swim and go into the pool bar.
Yeah, look, Paul and Harrison, we are so sorry this has happened to you. Most Aussies just find it unbelievable. Please keep us up to date, and just keep us in touch and see how Kylie's going.
Yeah, no, we just need this GoFundMe page to really kick off a little bit more than Australia's been so generous with what they've done, and we're forever in their debt. So we just need to get to this figure so that we can get her home.
Yeah, look, our hearts go out to you. It's just such a terrible situation. Thank you very much for joining us. And Paul and his family have started a GoFundMe page to cover the costs. If you would like to help, head to the Sunrise website for details. Here's Kochie.
Well, now to Friday night footy. Port Adelaide are taking on the Doggies at Marvel tonight. We're on a 9-game winning streak, club record, while the Doggies have been just a bit inaccurate in front of goal, costing them a few games. In the NRL, the Canberra Raiders host the New Zealand Warriors this afternoon. It's tipped to be tight clash between the 6th and 7th on the ladder. Let's bring in the gurus, 7 AFL commentator Joe Watson, NRL legend Sam Burgess. Joe, first to you. Look, we beat the Doggies in Gather Round, but we're on their home turf. Marvel, they are hard to beat there.
Kochie, there's no hotter team than your Port Adelaide, but Bulldogs come off a really high-quality game against Geelong last Saturday night, and they are a tough team to face under the roof at Marvel Stadium, so it's set to be a cracking night of footy tonight on 7.
Yeah, that's that clash at the centre bounds, Scooter against Tim English, Doggies midfield against a much younger, sort of developing Port midfield, inexperienced, and gee, you'd expect the Doggies to win there, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd expect with the likes of English in the ruck and obviously Bontempelli, McRae and Liberatore at ground level, but they're up against the hottest young midfield in the league at the moment, and Connor Rosey, Zach Butters and Jason Horne-Francis, I think, can take it up to them, and they've been a huge reason why Port have been so good in the last 9 rounds.
It's just going to be a great game. You'll see it all live on 7 tonight. Sam, the Raiders will be celebrating their captain Jared Croker's 300th game. He's matched with the Warriors debutant. What's your tip for this game?
Yeah, good morning, Kochie. Yeah, that's right. Croker playing his 300th game in the NRL. The Raiders also welcome back Sebastian Chris and Elliot Whitehead. Ricky Stewart, I think he'll have the team ready and firing down there in the nation's capital. So I think Canberra on the milestone game will get the result against the Warriors tonight. Tough game.
Yep. Just quickly, Sea Eagles host the Dolphins tonight. Now, the Finns have had a great season. A new team always finds it hard on the road, as they have. Do you reckon they can upset the Eagles, though?
Yeah, that's right, Kochie. The master coach, Wayne Bennett, has had them playing magnificently up against it. They've had suspension, injury. I think tonight might be a tough ask for them. We've got a few players out. Manly are on the home track, relatively good. Tom Trbojevic before Origin, last game before Origin, it was unbelievable. I think it'll be a bit of a masterclass. He's back in the team. He got a dispensation to get back in the team after his concussion from Origin. So I think Manly tonight at home ground will get the job done.
Okay. All right, fellas, cracking round of footy ahead of us. Really appreciate it.
Great stuff. Thank you, Kochie. Good man. All the best in retirement, okay?
Good on you, mate.
Well, over the years that Kochie has been hosting Sunrise, we've had so many wonderful characters on the show, and one of them is back this morning to say farewell. Very special.
Oh, that is the biggest star of Sunrise in all of that time.
Exactly. Oh, right, now it's news time. Here's Eddie.
Thank you so much. We have some breaking news now, Nat. And Victoria's Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton has announced his resignation. He joined the Department of Health in 2011, becoming the Chief Health Officer in 2019, and of course leading the state's pandemic response. Sutton will be taking up a new role at the CSIRO. The opposition has come out swinging this morning against Finance Minister Katy Gallagher, calling on her to answer questions over when she became aware of the Brittany Higgins rape allegations and whether or not she misled the Parliament. It follows leaked messages that conflict with her public statements, which show she may have known about the claims before they were made public.
She's in hiding. She's not stepping out and actually giving people the explanations that they need, following the remarks that she made, which was that she didn't know, that she had no knowledge of the allegations prior to them becoming public. So it's just a simple question.
Katy Gallagher is a person of the utmost integrity. You know Katy, I think you do as well. You would know that she's a person of integrity. And if the Liberal Party want to refer this to the Anti-Corruption Commission, then fill your boots.
A 16-year-old boy is in custody following a stabbing in Ipswich. Emergency services were called to Rosewood, where they found a 39-year-old woman and an 11-year-old girl with numerous wounds to their stomachs. They're believed to be the boy's mother and sister and were both taken to hospital in a critical condition. The teenager is now assisting police with their inquiries. 4 children and 2 adults are fighting for life following a horrible attack in the French Alps. Police say a man armed with a knife entered a children's playground in the town of Annecy and went on a rampage. He was pursued by onlookers as he fled the scene and within minutes detained by police. The children aged between 22 months and 3 years old are now in a critical condition. Vape retailers in South Australia are on notice this morning as the state government ramps up its crackdown on illegal nicotine e-cigarettes. Let's go live to Nathan Regter in Adelaide for us this morning. Nathan, they could face thousands of dollars in fines.
Yeah, they certainly could. Good morning, Eddie. Now, we know vaping is addictive, dangerous and on the rise, and that's why authorities here want to try and stamp it out. So, over the next 2 months, the South Australian government will crack down on businesses trying to sell nicotine vapes. Now, already 200 problem stores have already been identified, and if retailers are found selling these addictive vapes, they could be fined up to $10,000. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The Commonwealth Government has flagged its plans to ban all non-prescription vapes right across the country. Eddie?
Thank you, Nathan. If you're planning on attending Vivid in Sydney this long weekend, you may want to rethink how you get there, with track work set to go ahead despite huge crowds forecast. The City Circle, North Shore and Bankstown train lines are among those impacted, with bus replacements planned and also lengthy delays expected. The state government has been criticised for the timing of the works, but they say it's part of a 12-month maintenance blitz of the network and it's just simply too critical to delay. Now, if you've ever looked at bubble soccer and thought you might want to give it a try, you may want to think again. A boy in Britain was sent soaring into the sky while wearing the giant inflatable ball. He's okay, don't worry. But he was caught in a gust of wind. This could have gone horribly wrong. He is in hospital, stable condition. Onlookers say he flew as high as 20 metres and ended up crashing on the top of a wheelie bin.
He's in hospital though.
Yeah, but he's okay. He's okay.
What's okay?
Well, stable. He's fine. He's okay. No, he's okay.
He's in intensive care, but he's fine.
No, this could have gone horribly wrong, but it went like just a little bit wrong. No.
How many bones are broken?
Goodness.
Well, look, he's doing okay.
Eddie, we want more.
Now, can you check in on that?
A bit more research,
I will.
please.
Yeah.
And Brett has all your spot.
Sunrise, brought to you by Optus Pause. Make family time count with a break from the internet. Be part of the Living Network.
Oh, this is good news. A great day for Australia's pace attack after India's top order was demolished on the second day of the... Yes, give them a round of applause. The World Test Championship final in London. It's not over, but it's over. Australia were all out for 469. All 4 Aussie quicks took early wickets. India finished at 5 for 151 at stumps. Day 3 is live and exclusive on the screens of 7. Don't miss it tonight. It's a cracker. Now, it wasn't an ideal celebration for Lance Franklin in his 350th game after the Swans were down 80-66 by St Kilda, but he managed to kick 2 goals and to jump ahead of Geelong great Doug Wade into 4th on the all-time goal-scoring list. But it wasn't enough to claim a fairy tale victory. Max King kicked 3 to secure the 14-point win for the Saints. A major blow for the West Tigers and New South Wales Blues after Appy Coruscant suffered a broken jaw against the Titans overnight. The West Tigers skipper copped an elbow to the face from Maroons enforcer Tino Fasua-Malawi and was immediately sent to hospital, while Luke Brooks limped off the field with a hamstring injury in their 28-12 loss. Next weekend's Supercars event in Darwin is Indigenous Round, and the Penrite Racing team have pulled the covers off their specially designed cars for the event. They partnered with the Melbourne Indigenous Transition School to raise funds and support for schooling Indigenous kids. Supercars are back at Hidden Valley next weekend with all the action live and free on the screens of 7.
Yeah,
yes,
you're beauty.
How good, Darwin Round.
You okay? Any news?
No, all quiet, thanks. All quiet.
Brett's daughter Ava is being induced as we speak. How exciting.
Yeah. So any day.
He's nervous.
Any day, today.
Right now. So Ava, as you're sitting there, all frustrated, thinking, when's this going to happen? All our love to you.
Good on
Hope it all goes well.
Thinking of you. It'll be great. Well, tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Just stick with Uncle
Breathe.
Dave.
Just breathe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sam Max with us at Bricky Central.
Yeah, we are. How's the timing on that? Talk about overshadowing Koch's big day. Amazing timing, isn't it? Wow. Thought it was about you today, Koch. Apparently not. Amazing times. Good luck this morning. Now, what we're doing behind the scenes, of course, is helping you, Kochie. We need to help you because you're a busy man. You've got a lot on today. There's so many things happening. So I've very generously helped you pack up your office. We've got your things over here. They are all ready to go. I mean, you can come and grab them. You've got 30 minutes to come and grab them, Kochie. Otherwise, they will be disappearing. I think that's a little bit too far. That's unfair. That is not dry waste. That is recycling. There we go. Put that in the right box there. And as you can see, Shervo doesn't waste much time. Shervo has already had his impact on what used to be Kochie's office, Olympians only. And look what he's done over here. The Shervinator. He wants to get that hashtag trending. Apparently, he's got his great artwork up. He's even got a to-do list over here. Yeah, that was his Vladimir Putin era, I think it was. Yeah, this is amazing. Oh, you meant that one. Let's do a check of your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon's Top Take Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stock take sale on now.
Sunny and 24 for Brisbane, Sydney sunny and 20, Canberra partly cloudy 13 degrees, Melbourne showers easing a top of 15, Hobart shower or 2 13 degrees, Adelaide shower or 2 and 15, Perth showers and 18, Darwin mostly sunny and 33. Look, this morning, Kochie, we have been going through, your things, and it is a real stroll down memory lane. There's so many amazing moments and so many beautiful pieces of art that viewers of our show have sent in over the years, but something we didn't expect to find was your phone. We found found your phone. So who would have thought that was the screensaver that Kochie was rocking these days? I mean, it's a beautiful shot. But Kochie, what I thought we would do, I hope this isn't an invasion of privacy, but I've been going through your phone and I found, I mean, you are a great guy. I found a beautiful voice memo that you sent to Shervo congratulating him on the gig. And I thought that is such a testament to your character. So I hope this isn't an invasion. But why don't we listen to what Kochie sent to Shervo congratulating him on the role. This is really beautiful, actually.
Shervo, mate, it's the Kochmeister. Congrats on the gigs. You'll be just terrific. Lib and the grandkids and I will be tuning in every day for sure. Now, I wanted to pass on a few tips, big fella. Negotiate hard. Every time interest rates rise, so should your salary. Next tip, you're on air a lot, okay? So you're going to run out of things to say. So when you do, just slap the desk hard and say, just terrific. My final word of advice. Nat is a bloody hoot. But even if you don't find her jokes funny, just laugh, mate, okay? Trust me, it never fails. Anyway, go get him, Shervo. You're going to be just terrific.
What a guy, Kochie, you are the best. And that would have meant a lot to Shervo.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Great support.
You sound a bit raspier on the phone.
It was after a big night.
Yeah, just another one. Thank you very much, Sam. Well, it is a big day here at Sunrise as we say goodbye to the Kochmeister. Coming up, the political foes who became friends. From climbing Kilimanjaro to that viral video, our original big guns, Kevin Rudd and Joe Hockey, are live. The Sunrise family reunion doesn't end there. Sam is back too, and she has some advice for life after sunrise. And we have Kochie's biggest celeb moments. The stars share their farewell messages.
But first, it's time for the Sunrise Prize Factory! Roll on! Thanks to our friends at Harvey Norman. We have thousands of dollars worth of prizes up for grabs, and there were more thousands of dollars than they even expected last week. If you want to be a winner next week, the Swatties code word is GAME.
Now head to sunrise.com.au to enter the draw, then be ready to pick up the phone when we call our next lucky winner on Monday.
Now, for 21 years, this job has afforded me the chance to meet the most extraordinary people and the most famous. Sunrise is the home of the stars of Australian TV, where we get to host the world's biggest A-listers at brekkie time.
Here's a look back at Kochie's greatest celebrity hits as they farewell my co-host.
My thighs are nice and warm.
So, how's the Sunrise desk treating you?
So far, so good.
Okay?
Yeah, let's deliver some news.
All right. Can you believe this? Now, a message from the police. Girls, you've now got to go.
Got that glitter on my eyes. Stockings ripped all up the side.
Sing me songs of no deny. Seems to me too many try. Waiting for the next big thing.
Hello, Kochie. How you got no tie?
No tie today. No,
Okay.
no.
I'm really ashamed you didn't put your tie on.
Oh.
Because you told me you would.
I'm the world's greatest Sound of Music fan.
Really?
Yep. Big Koch family walking through a Salisbury.
Edelweiss. Every morning. I'm glad you're the greatest fan.
Kochie, it's Carrie Underwood here. I can't believe you're leaving Sunrise after 21 years, but I wanted to let you know that I have truly enjoyed all my times visiting you and the show in Australia, and I wanted to wish you all the best for your next adventure.
Powder figures from Brisbane, Australia. Wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
Hey Kochie, it's Tom Grennan. I just want to say congratulations, 20 plus years on breakfast TV. You are a legend.
Hey, you're not sounding like your mother, are you?
Well, you know what I miss about pop music? You can't sing along to it anymore.
Were you good at maths?
No.
Failed maths. You're a finance nerd. A numbers nerd. Not a numbers nerd.
Yeah, I can't add them up.
Hello, Michael. I'm the other one on the show. How are you? When we knew you were coming here, we thought we've got to have it somewhere pretty specky.
Yeah.
What do you think of our opera house?
It's pretty amazing.
I've been coming in to see you for a chat on the couch in the mornings for about 19 years, and it's crazy to think that the next time I come in, I won't see your face. You deserve to go and enjoy life and spend time with the family and sleep in and do whatever the hell you want, and thank you so much for all the memories.
I remember the very first time that I got to speak to you at Sunrise was just after I had won the X Factor, and I was this innocent, naive and nervous little thing, but you were so kind and so beautiful to talk to.
Oh, best show yet.
The way you guys have developed as performers was just incredible.
Pretty good innings, mate. Thank you for being a champion of all music, of my music. All of us appreciate you.
Did you say 21 years?
In Sunrise, Kochi.
Is that all?
Wow, it feels like a lifetime. I'll tell you why, because you're a diamond. We love you, and we'll see you on the dance floor.
We'll see you on the dance floor.
I thought I had some good dad jokes, but yours are great. Well, I don't know whether it's great or bad, but you're a pretty funny guy.
Jerusalem, Jerusalem. All the best, my friend. Have a great retirement. And like I said, you're going to be missed so much on Channel 7 Sunrise. I'm going to miss you. Thank you for the support.
Sunrise has been awesome for Australian music. We're very grateful for what you've done for Jeremy and Ella, a couple of rocky boys, slugging on in the music industry, and you've supported us all the way.
David, Daryl Braithwaite here. I can't call you Koshi. I never have. Probably never will, but I was shocked to hear that you're leaving Sunrise after 21 years. What a great run that is.
You were always so kind to me and such a big believer of my music. So thank you for all your support over the years.
Okay, seriously.
I'm a senior.
Come here. Come here.
Oh, thank you. I've been unbalanced ever since this morning.
The idea of that, like I would have punched him in the back.
A lot of actors, they're living their dream. And basically, you know, some of them become tossers, they're late, they
What's a
treat
tosser? What's a tosser? What's
a
loser.
Koshi, darling, congratulations. I don't really know how you managed to stay in it for such a long time, because it is grueling to do the type of work that you guys do day in, day out.
I wanted to say thank you for all your support of us.
Thanks for dancing every time we come to the studio. Always makes us laugh. You're a great guy.
And we really hope the next chapter of your life brings you some great adventures with your family and a whole bunch of happiness.
Love with everything.
All the best.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
You were always so incredible to me, and I'm so grateful. I wish you so much love going forth. Much love to everybody in Sunrise. Koshi, we'll miss you.
Everybody's lives for you. Everybody cries like I do.
I'm not sure television will ever look the same. I'm so used to seeing your face. It's so comforting.
Hello, Koshi.
People are generally very choosy about who they choose to see in the mornings, but they've chosen to look at you every morning for 21 years, and I just think that says a lot about you.
Thanks for all the love and support. Good luck on your next chapter.
Absolutely. Thank you for all the love, Koshi. Thank you very much.
Go hang out with your family.
Absolutely. Enjoy.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
So many. How special is that?
Geez, and their first time on the show, we almost saw them grow up.
I know.
Delta, five star salt.
Now, it's about to get even better, because I'm going to hand you an envelope for you to open and for you to read the contents of.
Oh, God. Blimey. Dear Koshi, thinking of you today. For 21 years, you have set the bar for the most popular show in Australia. Your humour, enthusiasm. Dame Julie Andrews. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Oh!
They've got it on the screen, so you read it.
Sure, this must be a sad, sweet moment for you. Matt Shervington has big shoes to fill, but he and Natalie have had a great example and mentor you. I'm sending you many hugs to you as you embark on the next chapter of your life. May it be joyous and fulfilling. Fondest love to you, Kochie.
Is that a kiss?
Julie,
That's
with a
two
kiss.
kisses.
With 2 kisses.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Wow.
Oh, that is
Yeah, that came in
You
just
all,
this
you all
morning.
know what a massive Sound of Music fan I am. And when we met her for Disney's 50th birthday at Disneyland, right
There it
there,
is.
I was jelly-kneed. I couldn't believe it.
You went down on your bended knee.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Mel was a bit embarrassed, but she went with it.
Thank you, Jules, if I can call you that. Maybe going a bit far now.
Yeah.
Don't, Julie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's better. Oh, okay. Next
Now,
one.
most politicians only get a few minutes of airtime on Sunrise because they're usually so boring. But these next two became part of the family.
Yes, Kevin Rudd and Joe Hockey opened up with their own story, shared plenty of laughs, and joined Kochie on some epic adventures.
Hey, we made it. The roof of Africa. Is it easier the second time? No, I'm not cut out for this sort of stuff. Joseph, how tough? Toughest thing I've ever done. It is the altitude, isn't it? It's the altitude. It's a walk. It's a scree. It's the motion. It's the endurance. There's nothing left in the tank. Can I do it again? Gosh, it's just like the Blue Mountains.
They were there for some of his biggest TV achievements, from Kilimanjaro
And at various points, we'll just hang on with our fingertips with a 200-metre drop, which was not what I expected. But we came through it. Kochie saved me again. Otherwise, I would have ended up at the bottom of the valley.
to Kokoda.
You know, I really enjoyed buddying up with Kochie. It was pretty special. We both sensed after a couple of days when we were at a low point, and we shared personal experiences, and we became real mates. It was really, really fantastic.
Joe, I feel like Sam G and Bilbo Baggins with the ring, going to Mount Doom. Look out for the Ents.
He's hallucinating at high altitude, boys.
Joe, you're right. I almost thought we had to get Greenpeace there. Drag you out.
Oh, tiny boy, the pipes are calling. From glen to glen, and down the mountainside.
Joe Hockey and Kevin Rudd became an unlikely double act on Sunrise and quickly became household names, even getting their own family members involved in the show.
Joe, Kevin, and Joe's dad, Richard, joins us this morning because Joe's car didn't work this morning, so Dad had to bring him into the studio.
And never shying away from the challenges thrown at them.
That's the reason sometimes I'm feeling under. That's the reason sometimes I'm feeling down. There's no wonder sometimes I'm feeling under. Gotta keep my faith alive to love this
Wow, a trip down memory lane. Joe Hockey and Kevin Rudd joined us from Washington, D.C. Joe and Your Excellency. Joe, that river on Kokoda, Kevin lost his footy as well. You grabbed him, saved him, pulled him up, and you looked at me and said, Kochie, I think I'm going to regret this, as you threw him to the bag. Do you regret it?
Yes and no. I mean, the truth is that he had a bar of soap, and it was like a prison. The bar of soap was incredibly valuable at that point in time. So that's the only reason I saved it. Otherwise, I would have drowned him like a cat.
Kevin, behind the scenes, so you...
I got myself out of that crap all by myself.
We were there.
Yeah, the telling of the story is always a little different later on. Kevin, behind the scenes in Canberra, you're on breakfast television, you're becoming household names. What are they saying, all the pollies in Canberra?
I think it's basically gritted teeth, which was how come you guys get to be on breakfast television with two seriously important people, namely you and Kochie, as opposed to the rest of us not being there. So did you find that it won you a whole bunch of new enemies?
Yeah, my colleagues hated me.
Yeah.
For being on Sunrise, and especially with you. It's like they blame me for making you Prime Minister. I said you did it yourself.
That's completely unfair. That's completely unfair.
Joe, how
completely
special?
unfair.
How special was Kilimanjaro? Because you did that for the Humpty Dumpty organisation, didn't you? And then conned the rest of us to go with you.
Well, Kochie, I was thinking deeply about this little segment today, and apart from what I wanted to say seriously, I wanted to actually join with you in revealing our relationship over 21 years. I mean...
Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, I do actually. Kochie, you and I, we can admit it now because this is your last show, we had some intimate moments.
We did.
And those intimate moments, they were special. There was the glaciers, the cold of Kilimanjaro, the loneliness of the jungles of Papua New Guinea, and, mate, all during that time, apart from Libby, I am the only person in the world that has slept with you on 14 different occasions. And I want to thank you for that. And I think we need to share it with the Australian people. Because all these years, the viewers have thought that you were a homely guy, that you were a family man. But we looked at each other in the most intimate way.
Well, we look at
it was.
Remember, we were pea buddies on Kokoda because we had to check the colour of our wee to make sure we weren't dehydrated. There's Joe pulling Kevin out of the river. Kevin, the biggest memory I have with you was after you're elected Prime Minister, sitting on the veranda of Kirribilli House and put to you the proposal to reform organ transplants and donations here in Australia. And you were so helpful in that. You said, go and convince Department of Health, and if they're happy, I'll back you.
Yeah, we did some good stuff, mate. And, we had some great laughs over the last 20 years or so, but this was really good stuff. You got involved early on. You got so many of the bureaucracy on side. I was Prime Minister. I had no power over the bureaucracy at all. But you went in, got them on side, got a whole bunch of other people on side, and we set up the Australian National Transplant Authority. And now there are literally thousands of people each year who have access to organ and tissue donations who, had we not set up this authority, it just wouldn't be the case. Yeah. So good on you, mate. We got some good things done, and some people are alive today watching this program who would otherwise not be.
That makes the program worthwhile.
And Australians loved tuning in and watching you fight it out. Yes, Kevin?
I got a question. After 21 years, Nat, why is it that you haven't changed and Kochie looks 21 years older? That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, you're an old softie, Kevin.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Some wonderful memories. Thanks for being part of today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Oh, that was good, wasn't it?
Oh, they're a great bunch, and so is this lady. She was my co-host, part of the Sunrise family for 8 incredible years. The one and only Sam Armitage. Welcome back to the couch.
Thank you. It's nice to be back on the house.
Now, for the first time, since, of course, she said hello, farewell to Brekkie Central. She is back, talking about fond moments.
Yes. Well, there's so many moments. There were thousands of happy, wonderful moments that we had over those 8 years. And I didn't want to focus on... We did some big news stories, but they were generally pretty sad and, you know. So I wanted to focus on all the fun that we had. And who could go past our 5 countries in 5 days, which was logistically the most ridiculous thing you could ever imagine. We went to the UAE. Here we are in Dubai riding the camels. The UK, the US... Canada and Mexico in 5 days. We didn't know where we were. It was ridiculous, but so much fun. So many happy moments.
So at least on those camels we had great hair.
We did. Mainly because our hair was covered, which I quite enjoyed, as you know. But there we were arriving in London, and here's New York. But remember, we got off the plane in London and we had a new Prime Minister?
Yes!
And this is the days before Wi-Fi on planes. So Malcolm Turnbull was the Prime Minister. And so we had to deal with breaking news in London. On the other side of the world, we didn't know where we were. And it was a massive show, and I think we won the day, and we didn't even know what we were talking about. Which I think sums up the whole show.
which happens often. Doesn't it? People don't know. They go, oh, you're across everything.
No.
So many times we go, what's going on here?
And we were so worried because it was midnight. We were standing, literally by the river.
In Heathrow.
Yeah, and we're thinking, how are we going to do this? Because we've got to talk serious stuff, and we're literally...
And we're so jet lagged. We'd been in Dubai the day before riding camels through the desert.
My of many memories of you on Sunrise has got to be New Zealand, Queenstown, the Canyon Swing. Let me set this up for everyone because we each had to do a bit of an adventure. Brett and I, we jumped into a lake, a cold lake. Woo, gee, that's adventurous. It was cold, not so much. Sam had to do a canyon swing and she was a bit fearful of it. And Brett and I were watching from the top thinking, team bonding thing, we'll actually do it until we saw this.
Here we go.
Is horrendous.
Yes,
it was horrendous.
That was a plastic garden scene.
Yeah.
Brett and I, after that happened, we looked at each other and went, no frickin' way.
My hair has never been that messy on television ever. Koshi, you did have an uncanny ability when there was imminent danger to push me forward and step back, and the garden seat off the canyon was no exception. You were meant to go next. And
he was laughing with you, not at yourself.
He was laughing at me. He actually came running to me afterwards, and you just gave me a hug.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like...
Oh, God, how much did we laugh about that?
Not me. Yeah.
Tell us what your highlight of working with Kochi was.
Look, there were so many highlights, but what I want to say to you today is that this job is so incredibly difficult, and you can't say it when you're in the job because no one wants to hear complaining, but when you're not in the job anymore, you can say how hard this is. There is so much scrutiny to get up day after day and do this, the resilience, the drive, the ability, the energy to just keep coming in here every day and do that is extraordinary. I absolutely salute you. I, after 8 years, couldn't do it anymore. 21, I just think is an extraordinary
Was it hard to adjust?
effort.
I'm fearful of adjusting.
It's hard to... No, after 2 days, my sleep was completely back to normal. You'll be fine. The trick is to get out of the big smoke, go somewhere where it's quiet, go back to nature and just get your sleep back in order. You can go out for dinner now, late at night. You can go on holidays without asking permission. It's fantastic. I salute you for doing it because it is an extraordinary job to do.
You.
And that's why there's only 6 people in the country doing it.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
Extraordinary.
Well, I now join the Sunrise OGs.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why we've got a little club of Sunrise OGs.
Yes. So now you can actually come out and have dinner.
Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
And a glass of wine. Stay up past 8 p.m.
That's lovely words. Sam, thank you very much.
Thanks, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. It's wonderful.
Thanks, Sam. Now, Friday morning on Sunrise, as we take you back to where it all began for Kochi.
Across Australia, this is Sunrise with Melissa Doyle and David Koch.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunrise. And David Koch, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mel. Rizzo's off for the morning. You have me. You're stuck with me on this Friday.
There it is, your very first morning hosting Sunrise 21 years ago. Now for the final time, here is Eddie with the news.
Thank you so much, Nat. Good morning. The opposition has come out swinging this morning against Finance Minister Katy Gallagher, calling on her to clarify when she became aware of the Brittany Higgins rape allegations. It follows leaked text messages that show she may have misled the Senate, prompting calls to refer her to the National Corruption Commission.
Sought to politically profit from a rape allegation, then that is just morally bankrupt.
She's a person of integrity. And if the Liberal Party want to refer this to the Anti-Corruption Commission, then fill your boots.
Gallagher says she became aware of the allegations following Higgins' interview on The Project. In breaking news this morning, Victoria's Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton has announced his resignation. He joined the Department of Health in 2011, becoming, of course, the Chief Health Officer in 2019 and leading the state's pandemic response. Sutton will be taking up a new role at the CSIRO. A teenager is in custody after a woman and an 11-year-old girl were stabbed in Ipswich. Emergency services were called to Rosewood, where they found the pair with numerous wounds to their stomachs. They're believed to be the 16-year-old boy's mother and sister and were taken to hospital in a critical condition. The boy is assisting police with their inquiries. 4 children and 2 adults are fighting for life following a horrific stabbing attack in the French Alps. Police say a man armed with a knife entered a children's playground and went on a rampage. He was pursued by onlookers as he fled the scene and within minutes detained by police. Now, if you're planning on attending Vivid in Sydney this long weekend, you may want to reconsider your travel to and from the city, with track work set to go ahead despite the expected huge crowds. The City Circle, North Shore and Bankstown train lines are among those impacted, with bus replacements planned and delays expected. The state government is standing firm, saying the work, which is part of a 12-month maintenance splits of the network, is simply too critical to delay.
And in cricket, Australia's pace attack has demolished India's top order on the second day of the World Test Championship final in London. The Aussies were all out for 469. They continued to fire with the ball, all 4 quicks taking early wickets.
Oh, another one not offering a shot. Cameron Green is overjoyed. Australia are overjoyed.
It's going beautifully. India will resume tonight at 5 for 151. The action at the Oval continues tonight. It is live, it is exclusive on 7 and 7 Plus. Wherever you are, it has been fantastic so far. There you go.
Fondest love to you, Kochie. From Julie with a kiss.
That's so
How
nice.
lovely is that?
And Joe and Kevin and Sam. It's all so lovely the last day. Oh,
Geez, we did a lot,
I know.
didn't we?
I know.
Hell. It was...
Well, it wasn't hell.
Well, for Joe and Jared Pinder, who has come up from Melbourne, he was at the camera for us on Kokoda, top of Killy. He lugged cameras up. We did Christchurch together, Pike River. Just wonderful to see so many people here today, which is great.
It's a fantastic day. A lot more to come too. In the meantime, let's go to Sam Mack. He's here at Brekkie Central today. For
We are. Good morning, team. And so great to see so many people, so many familiar faces, although one we're still looking for is Bruce. Wasn't that a bombshell earlier, Kochie, when you brought this up? It wasn't me. You brought it up. We were chatting to Lib and we were talking about her ex-partner, Bruce. So, Bruce, if you're watching, we'd love to hear from you. Why don't you come in and give Kochie a hug on his final day on air? That'd be a really nice note to end the show on. Let's do your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon's Top Take Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stock Take Sale on now.
Brisbane sunny 24, Sydney sunny and 20, Canberra partly cloudy and 13, Melbourne showers easing and 15, Hobart shower or 2, 13 degrees, Adelaide shower or 2, 15 degrees, Perth showers and 18, Darwin mostly sunny and 33. I'll be back with more very soon as we continue our big farewell for Kochie, but for now it's over to you, team.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Well, Finance Minister Katy Gallagher could become the first politician to face the new National Anti-Corruption Commission. The opposition says it will refer her, alleging she misled Parliament over the Brittany Higgins case.
Now, leaked text messages suggest Senator Gallagher knew of Brittany Higgins' rape allegation before it was made public in February 2021. But during Senate estimates later that year, she vehemently denied any prior knowledge.
I was told by one of your senators 2 weeks before about what you were intending to do with the story in my office 2 weeks before.
No one had any knowledge. How dare you? It's all about protecting yourself.
The PM joins us now. Anthony Albanese, good morning to you.
Hey, Kochie, this is like a eulogy for you, but you're still here, mate. Like, what's going on?
It's pretty hard to take, but we've got to cover the news of the day.
Indeed.
Did your colleague mislead Parliament?
No.
Well, from that vision, it shows that she clearly did.
It did not. Take a step back here, Kochie. What is being suggested here by Peter Dutton? You had allegations by a Liberal staffer that another Liberal staffer had a sexual assault in a Liberal minister's office, and somehow Katy Gallagher has some responsibility for what was going on here. Like, this is bizarre. had a circumstance also where Scott Morrison had an inquiry by Phil Gaetjens, his former Chief of Staff, who was then the head of the Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet, into who knew what in his own office. We still have never ever seen that report. I mean, for Peter Dutton to talk about transparency, frankly, is quite farcical here.
But there are questions to be answered, aren't there? We have possibly a multi-million-dollar payout for a woman who, you know, the charges against the person against her is, you know, are non-existent at the moment. That was taxpayers' money.
Be clear, Natalie. There were two payouts have been made to women in the normal way, both of whom were former Liberal staffers, done in the normal way with non-disclosure agreements in the usual way at arm's length. Katie Gallagher had no involvement in that whatsoever.
But the optics for the Australian public is that it is a serious charge. It's a serious allegation.
It certainly was.
Horrendous.
It certainly was, Kochie. And the idea that there's this conspiracy somehow that somehow Labor
carefully orchestrated behind the scenes.
Well, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. What you have is a story that was broken by news.com.au, by News Corp, who now you have these front page sort of stories because of text messages between two partners. Let's be very clear here. This was one Liberal staffer, and I mean, I've been questioned over it, for example. I met with Brittany Higgins on the same day that she met with Scott Morrison. Before then, I had never met her, and that is the only conversation I've ever had with her.
But when there are allegations like this and recordings, which we've all heard in the last week, the allegations basically are that you guys were plotting to weaponise a rape allegation, and they were saying, let's get Albo, let's get Tanya, Katie's maybe in on it. Those allegations, those rumours are spilled out over the newspapers of the country. But don't you want to clear that up?
Well, we have cleared it up.
Well, but do you think they've cleared up? When the headline today is text, lies and videotape, that's spread across the headline.
Well, you know, we're not responsible for News Corp's reporting today, like we weren't responsible when news.com.au broke the story. But take a step back. At that time, the counterfactual, if there was a story about allegations of a sexual assault by one Liberal staff member against another Liberal staff member in a Liberal minister's office, metres from the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister made comments on it the next day. You might recall the following day speaking about a discussion that he had with Jenny and about how he felt directly about it. You then had the Prime Minister establish himself an inquiry into what his office knew and when, a report that we have never seen. And the idea that questions wouldn't be asked, this was the lead story on this show, on every show, on every newspaper, and of course we asked questions. There was a demonstration outside Parliament House that was addressed by Ms Higgins. At that time, it was Scott Morrison who stood up and made a statement to Parliament. The only time in all the time I've been in Parliament I can recall a Prime Minister without notice making a statement at the beginning of question time. I responded to it. They were the circumstances.
So you're confident
of course we were asking
Katie
questions.
Gallagher has not misled Parliament?
Absolutely.
Right, okay.
And she's a great minister, she's a great finance minister, and she's a great minister for the status of women. And Peter Dutton needs to, if he wants to be transparent, he needs to release, or someone needs to release, the Gaetjens report that we still have never seen.
All right. I'm sure you'll follow that up next week.
Well,
that's on your agenda.
Because he's out the door now.
He's gone.
I'm gone.
All care, no responsibility today.
It's your job now.
And Sherbo.
Yes, exactly. He'll take it up as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Mate, thank you for coming on today.
Oh, look, congratulations on an amazing career on this show. And you can see outside here, there are a lot of people want to wish you well, and I certainly personally wish you well, mate.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Prime Minister, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks very much.
All right, well, it was a rescue mission that stopped the nation. In 2006, an underground emergency left 2 Beaconsfield miners, 3 in fact, trapped nearly a kilometre below the surface for 2 weeks. 2 survived. Todd Russell and Brant Webb became household names after the emergency services discovered they'd survived an earthquake that crumbled a gold mine.
Kochie was there every step of the way with Mel, but there's another part to this story that Australians have never been told until now.
Beaconsfield still stands out in my mind for a number. It was more than just a story because, you know, one of our viewers was trapped down there in Todd Russell, and this guy was trapped underground, and he would be sending up notes through the rescue team. They used to send notes down that tube to Todd of what had happened on Sunrise that day to keep his spirits up. He would... I don't know how we're going to get through this.
I know.
He would send notes back up saying, sledging me, saying, could we pop around to see his mum and dad and his wife and kids. When we were off air, we would pick the kids up from school. We would hang around in Todd's parents' kitchen. When they came out, I'll never forget that day. We were staying in Launceston at a hotel. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. We were driving to the site, and outside the mine was like a massive media village from around the world. So we got to this media village, which was completely black, 4 o'clock in the morning, preparing to go on air, and we went straight on air and said they'd been rescued. And all of a sudden, that media village lit up, and the world's media is hanging outside a Sunrise location.
They have walked out.
That is them.
Brant Webb and Todd Russell are on the surface.
It was the incredible moment Australia had been waiting for. Brant Webb and Todd Russell free after a fortnight below ground. One of the rescue team was a paramedic, Pete, who rang and said, Todd has said he wants you at the gate. I'll be driving his ambulance and the side door will be open. Todd wants to say thanks for hanging out with the family.
Mate, you took your time.
Hey,
how are you? Good to see you.
Look, mate,
how you feeling?
For you.
Oh, are you sure?
Take it.
Just wonderful.
I'm never going to need it again.
Catch up and have a beer.
Thanks, Kochie.
This is something I will treasure forever. Todd Russell's identity tag that he took off the board.
And Todd Russell, Brant Webb and first responder Peter James join us now on the couch in the studio. Welcome back to the show.
Fellas, good to see you.
This is pretty special, isn't it?
Sure
Todd,
is.
how does it make you feel all these years later to look back at those shots?
Yeah, look, it's pretty amazing to sit back here and look at that footage after 17 years, and I still remember the day we come out and Kochie was there, and I invited him into the ambulance and give him that tag. So it's a pretty special moment to be back here today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brant, I get emotional every time I see that footage. This tag is still one of my most treasured possessions. How have you done since coming out of the mine? Because what you two went through, remind us, how long were you down there for?
Oh, just a couple of weeks. It doesn't seem a long time, but when you're very close in a confined space, it's a very long time.
You're in a little cage, which was how big?
What was it, about 6 foot by 4 foot?
Yeah, 900. It was 1.4 square.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so it was only 321 hours, Kochie.
in the dark, not knowing.
Do you
Yeah,
remember? Do you
great,
remember how fearful you were down there?
Yeah, no, it was funny because the fear was actually at the start, wasn't it? That was the problem. Thought he was covered in rock. I'd been knocked out. It was coming round. The worst nightmare for a miner is covered in rock.
Yeah.
Actually, to be alive is even worse because you're going to have a slow, painful death. But if they can't get you out, and if they do get you out, 9 out of 10 times you're going to die. So it's a big deal. That's why we were such a sensation, because we actually lived through 100 tonne of rock on top of us. So that was the hard bit. I suppose the euphoric bit was actually getting out, or getting found. And then we went through this huge roller coaster of emotions because they couldn't get us out straight away.
Yeah.
So we had to sit
they chucked a pipe down, didn't they? So you could get out.
They drilled the pipe down.
And they put little plastic sort of pouches of food.
No, we had everything was brought down in a water bottle.
In a water bottle?
Yeah, with how long was that? 16 metre bit of conduit or something to push it down the hole, and it was.
If it fitted in the water bottle, it'd fit down the tube.
Yeah,
correct.
Because Peter, you were part of the rescue team, weren't you? The paramedic team.
There was a number of paramedics that worked underground, and it was to keep their mental and physical health up to scratch as much as possible.
Yeah. So we were driving from Launceston to the mine site, middle of the night, 3 o'clock, and I got a call from Peter on the drive there saying we've got them, didn't you? And you had it all planned out, you two.
We'd discussed that underground for some time. Todd wanted to give a tag to you, and it was a case of just meeting the right people to pass the message, and as was Chris Reason was at a coffee shop, and that's where I told him, the side of the ambulance to get into is on the left-hand side, you need to be on that side. And by chance I was the fresh crew that we did alternate night shifts, and so I ended up driving, and so the thing was, I see you guys, hey Todd, there they are, stop the ambulance.
And keep. And I remember you said to me, "I've got to keep the door open."
Yep.
And ever since that time, I've been accused of being a bloody ambulance chaser. It's all right for you to laugh, Brad. I'm going. What do I say? To people.
Todd, why did you call him into the ambulance and give him your tag?
Oh, look, I've always been a Sunrise fan, and when I come off night shift, I go home and sit down, have my breakfast, watch the sunrise before I go off to bed. And in the initial stages of our rescue after being found alive, we didn't realise what the hype of Beaconsfield was. And I remember saying to Brandt at one stage, do we make the local newspaper, which is the Examiner, not knowing that the hype of Beaconsfield at the time. And when I found out that the media contingency was there and Koch was there, I said to Peter Jones, I said, and if I can use this word, make sure that fat bastard's there when I get out.
And I was. You've given me this. It's still in pristine condition, mate. I think you need it back. But it was it was the highlight of my career. Being there for you guys and getting to know Pete. It's some of the lifelong memories and experiences that I will treasure till the day I die.
It was a mixture of a birthday, a christening, a wedding, and Christmas Day, and all mixed in together, wasn't it?
It was an incredible story. He always says that.
I had a funny deal after the accident. This professor from the Monash University rang me. He said, any problems, you call us, because I've got a team of people that know everything, right? So I rang him up and I said, mate, a couple of days later, I said, I think I'm gifted. He said, why is that, Brent? I said, mate, you wouldn't believe it. I said, I could see in the dark down when I was trapped underground. He said, oh, right. He said, and how long do we doing this for? And I said, oh, good 6 days. And he said, that's not a bad hallucination, 6 days. I said, what? He said, that's how you keep. That's how the mind keeps you sane. It takes a photo and replays it.
Exactly.
It was fantastic because I found out.
Thank you for so much for coming in. Really appreciate it.
If I can just say one thing, Koshy, it's a lot of mixed emotions from me to get this back from you today, knowing that when I gave it to you on that day, I only had 3 tags, and I've only got 3 children. So to get this one back makes 3. For 1 each for my kids. But in exchange for this, I've got another gift that I want to give to you today.
Oh, what's that?
it's something that Brant and I.
Oh, wow.
How much you wear it, morning, Koshy?
Oh, the belt buckle?
Yeah.
What, you two got them made?
We had them made back in 2007, in a 6-7.
Right.
In the six,
And everybody that was part of the rescue underground received one of them.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
Libby's
I
had a
happen to
read
have
the
I happen to have a spare one at home, which was mine, and that's for you.
Oh, mate, thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming up. Really appreciate it.
Big shout out for the grandkids. Jasper and Rachel.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Now, Nat and I have been working together on Sunrise for 21 years, and in that time we have interviewed thousands of people. It's the most magnificent part of this job is the people you meet, like these three. But the time has come for us to have our last chat between the two of us.
Are you ready? Hit play.
Well, this is it. Our last interview.
Nat! Don't start me off.
I know you're not dead yet. 21 years. Happy 21st.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm a bit scared. I've made absolutely the right decision, but I'm just a bit scared that the loss, a big part of your life. This has been my life. It's not just a job. It's a life that I have loved. I'm incredibly proud of. I love working with the people that I work with, and not to actually, sit next to you every day is got to be a massive adjustment.
Huge stories. The Lindt siege, that was really personal, wasn't it?
And I remember when the siege, he first went into Lindt Cafe, I was at the gym at Fitness First in Bond Street, and they, over the speaker, said, David Koch, can you come to reception? And I went, okay. So I went up there, and it was the police on the phone saying, don't go anywhere. There's a siege happening at Lindt. There's a person of interest that has been connected with you involved. We don't know what's happening. We'll come and pick you up and take you straight home, and you stay there until we tell you when to leave.
And then we broadcast for hours at that police tape. Right outside. We were evacuated from the 7 building.
Yep.
The sniper was in the Sunrise office.
A sister of one of our Channel 7 staff.
Sandy Dawson, who I know, and I have friends who know. She was a mother of 3 children.
Kokoda was so special. I think Anzac Day is the most important day in Australia. It reminds us of who we are. It reminds us of sacrifice of Australians to live in this great country that we do live in. And I've always wanted to do Kokoda. It's almost it's a spiritual experience. We did it on a really wet crossing, the back end of a cyclone. We all got trench foot, bleeding feet, the whole lot. And to have Anzac Day around the Memorial Ishiwava is something I will never forget. We were bathing in one of the village rivers because it's stinking hot, you're sweaty, you're muddy, you're dirty, and Kevin gets washed off the rocks downstream, and it was a pretty fast-flowing river, and Joe just puts his hand out, grabs Kevin as he's being washed down the river, and Joe goes, I'm going to live to regret this, and drags him up on the bank.
Oh, Tanny boy, the pipes are calling from glen to glen and down the mountainside.
The trips we did around the world was something we'll never forget.
No.
I liken it to school camp for adults.
And we took our viewers on that journey. It almost became like Amazing Race.
Antarctica, that was a first.
People said we couldn't do it. It had never happened before. And the Antarctic Division were fantastic with our technical people in setting it up. But it showed Australians just the awe of Antarctica.
It took months of planning and a bit of a hiccup to get here the other day, but at least we made it.
So now, what are you going to miss? I know
What
you're
am I
ready.
gonna
You
miss?
seem ready.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready. I'm going to miss so much. But when I say I miss it, I have enormous gratitude that I've been able to experience it. And you've got to keep that in perspective. It is the world's best job. I have loved every minute of it. I will miss, big breaking stories. I will miss the adventures. I'll see Sunrise viewers out and about because I'll be a normal person and everyone is always so lovely. I'll miss the routine. I'll miss that my life is getting up and sitting next to you. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss being able to use the show in a nice way to help people, to get things done.
We've been watching it with a fair bit of frustration and we want to really help and do something. This is their opportunity.
We've helped revolutionise organ and tissue transplants. We've, in the past, changed superannuation rules. Being involved with Tour de Cure with Barrett's and how we help in that area. Good Friday appeals, telethon in Perth has always been special to me of visiting the hospitals. It's been a wonderful, wonderful experience. Sunrise has been a huge vehicle for us to do it, to build youth centres in Western Sydney, to support schools in Tanzania, to support orphanages in East Timor. That's what we do. That's us. And you do it because it's who we are.
Thanks. Thanks for everything.
That's all right.
Really. Thanks for everything.
So beautiful.
All right.
Stay with us. We are celebrating his career, saying goodbye. And we've got plenty more to come. Mel's back. She's right here on the couch at Breaking Central as we say a final farewell. There will not be any more dry eyes in this house right now. Here's Eddie with news.
Thank you so much, Nat. Good morning. Anthony Albanese is standing by Finance Minister Katy Gallagher this morning following calls from the opposition for her to be referred to the newly established National Corruption Commission over claims she misled Parliament about when she became aware of the Brittany Higgins rape allegations. The PM accusing the opposition leader of hypocrisy, saying the report into the incident by the former government was never released.
She's a great minister, she's a great finance minister, and she's a great minister for the status of women. And Peter Dutton needs to, if he wants to be transparent, he needs to release, or someone needs to release, the Gaetjens report that we still have never seen.
In breaking news this morning, Victoria's Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton has announced his resignation after 4 years in the role. He joined the Department of Health in 2011 and led the state's pandemic response. Sutton is standing down to take up a new role with the CSIRO. A teenager is in custody following a stabbing at Ipswich overnight. Emergency services were called to Rosewood, where they found a woman and an 11-year-old girl with numerous wounds to their stomachs. They're believed to be the 16-year-old boy's mother and sister and were taken to hospital in a critical condition. The boy is assisting police with inquiries. 4 children and 2 adults are fighting for life following a horrific stabbing attack in the French Alps. Police say a man armed with a knife entered a children's playground and went on a rampage. He was pursued by onlookers as he fled that scene and within minutes was detained by police. If you're planning on attending Vivid in Sydney this long weekend, you may want to reconsider your travel to and from the city, with track work set to go ahead despite the expected huge crowds. The City Circle, North Shore and Bankstown train lines are among those impacted, with bus replacements planned and delays expected. The state government is standing firm, saying the work, which is part of a 12-month maintenance blitz for the network, is just simply too critical to delay. Chris Hemsworth has touched down in Spain for the premiere of his new action movie Extraction 2, which premieres on Netflix next week. Safe to say his Spanish isn't quite up to scratch, despite his Spanish wife. The Aussie star blew his cover in this photo to show some cheap notes scribbled on his hand. He's since poked fun at the photo, reposting it to his social with a caption, "After years of coming to Spain and being asked, has my Spanish improved, I can safely say it's in the palm of my hand." And from one heartthrob to another, I can't even look at you because you know I'm such a sort. God, it was 2004 when I first met you as the Sunrise intern. I was only 20, still at uni, and it was with you on TV competing for a job. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. Your support over the years has been immeasurable. I remember being in the control room when the mining tragedy happened in Tasmania, going, "Dougie, he's getting into the ambulance. He's getting into the ambulance. What should we do?" Look, I probably wouldn't be married with 2 kids without you giving the undue and extraordinary pressure you placed on my husband to actually propose. So many highlights, but I think going to Christchurch to cover that extraordinary news event, I remember having to stand on a box here because I'm so short, just so that we were in the same frame. So much to admire about you as a broadcaster, but mostly about the contribution you've made behind the scenes. I visited your orphanage in East Timor. People may not know there's horrific joke books. There were 5 of them. They funded the orphanage in East Timor, the Koch Centre at Macquarie Fields. Your contribution and the impact you've had on so many people will be the lasting impact. So thank you, Koch.
Thank you. Well said. Very well said. Very well said. So, my turn. There is no one that I would rather get dressed with at 5 o'clock in the morning than you, mate.
And we do. We drop our dates together, don't we?
And if you wear those Go Power undies again. But on a serious note, people have got to understand, you built the Sunrise culture. This is you. You always told people when you walk into this studio, you leave your ego at the door. And this show's about the viewers. And that's been our mantra from day one, because that's you. That's the sort of person you are. Remember your famous saying, culture beats talent every day. And we are actually living proof of that because you got the culture right. My favourite memory is when you almost got us arrested at the US Marine base in Hawaii in the middle of some drone hangar, and we almost went to US military prison. But that's for another day.
Because a Sunrise viewer who was in Hawaii with us said, "I'm part of the military, I'll take you in there." The 2 idiots here went, "Oh, that'd be good."
It was great. It was wonderful. It's part of the rich experience we've had together. But you have always been humble, and you've always been honest, and you care about people, and that's the big difference with you. You are a special person. Through disasters, cyclones, floods, fires, we've just seen all those pictures again. You cared about people, and you actually did more. You reached out to help, and that's such an important thing. From my own point of view with Tour de Cure, I would never have started that if it wasn't for you inspiring us to get out and do stuff. Yeah. So $100 million down the road, 125 international cures for cancer. From that, you can credit yourself for that. Magnificent. You taught us, everyone in this studio I'm talking about, everyone who works here, to care about other people and the impact you've had on lives in every corner of Australia. We see it whenever we travel. You know, when you walk through the airport and everyone yells out, "Koch!" Gee, we're going to miss that. But you are so loved, and your beautiful family who are about to see should be so proud of the wonderful human that you are. And as a colleague and a mentor and a mate, couldn't wish for more, mate. You're bloody awesome.
We'll miss you in the change room. Now, can you organise? I'll give you a Port Adelaide scarf.
That'd be wonderful.
Okay, and you've got to wear it
for the grand final day.
Come to the Cats game on Thursday night.
Let's do it.
Next week.
Great.
All right,
done.
mate, thank you for that. All right, Sam Mack we've let him back into Brecky Central this morning with all your weather.
Yeah, I'm edging closer, as you can see, guys. I'm now only 6 metres away. That was beautiful, beautiful words. Thank you for sharing that, team. In a moment, I'll say a few words as well, but let's do your weather.
Sunrise weather, brought to you by Beacon's Top Take Sale. Save big on a huge range of lights, lamps, exteriors, fans and more. Stock take sale on now.
Sunny for Brisbane, 24. Sydney, sunny and 20. Canberra, partly cloudy and 13 degrees. Melbourne, showers easing and a top of 15. Hobart, shower or 2, 13 degrees. Adelaide, shower or 2 and 15. Perth, showers and 18. Darwin, mostly sunny and 33. What better way to say it, Kochie, than in song? Am I right? Yeah. I got your request, mate. You're welcome. Here we go. So now the time has come, Kochie, you're moving on. And And whether you like it or not, I'm doing another song. For 21 years, Kochie, you've been our one and only. 21 years, but you still haven't won a Logie. We're gonna miss the laughs you bring and the finance on the hour, but at least we don't have to hear about Port Power. Be nice to have a break. You're leaving some big shoes to fill. Kochie, you're hard to beat. But thank God we all know Sherbo has big feet. Kochie, we love you. We're going to miss you. Go well and go Crows. Let's do an all for TV hug. All for TV hug. Love you, mate. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. That was very special. Good on you.
Oh, that was brilliant. Now, we welcome back your original wing woman, former Sunrise co-host, and our dear friend Melissa Doyle.
Mel we sat side by side for 11 years. She was instrumental in the success of the program. Without her, we wouldn't be where we are today. Welcome back to the couch.
Thank you. No, so we shouldn't look at each other because we're going to cry. Oh my gosh.
How do you look back
Congrats.
on the time?
Congrats.
Those early days.
Yes.
Oh my! People probably don't know, but our office was in a demountable in the car park. We weren't even in the real building, were we? No one gave a toss about us.
But how precious, I think, the fact that we were able to grow from something so small. Do you remember when we bet our boss, Bolo, to take us to lunch when we hit 40,000 viewers? Yeah. And, he's like, oh, yeah, sure, as if that's going to happen. And I think growing and the relationship with the viewers, the love, the crazy things we did, the fun things we did, the fact that we got to do it all in the beginning under the radar. Yep. We had a Roswell, remember, and you'd write on it topics that viewers wrote in and wanted us to talk about, and we'd read emails, and oh my God, we sang. That was crazy. I think we got to do it in a way that was so natural for every single person, all of us as a team.
Yeah.
Because the network just ignored us. They didn't care because that we were rating 0 when we started.
Yeah.
So they just thought, oh, well, that'll never work.
Do their thing.
Just see what happens.
Yes.
And that was the beauty, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think, everyone said it all morning about Kochie, but the fact that it was always about the viewers. We were so aware from the very beginning. We weren't there for us. We were there for everybody at home watching, and we had this incredible platform that we could do something with, and we did.
Yeah. Highlights for you in those early days. For me, it was those Black Saturday bushfires.
Yeah.
You were incredible the way you helped the community.
Well, we both were. We were in different parts, remember? They separated us. You were at the football ground. I was over outside the community centre. And I think for us, it was recognition of the role that the program would play in news and in people's lives. That there was people watching, waiting to hear what was happening, what was the news and the information they need. And I think at that time it was such a momentous thing for us to recognise that the impact that a program could have on helping people and assisting and disseminating information, and that was a really powerful thing.
And Beaconsfield together, because
that made me cry when I watched the guys.
As Todd was explaining, we got to know his mum and dad, his wife, his kids. His son was still in primary school then and won a book prize, and with the money used it to buy one of my joke books. So they were...
Whereas I could have given him my supply for free.
Yes, I know. You do. And that connection, that was the first time we met Bill Shortett and Paul Howes, because they ran the union.
Yes.
And we met them sitting around the dinner table.
And also, I think,
Mum and Dad,
being so close to a community. We were there all day, every day, and the local CWA ladies were making soup and feeding us, and you realise that it was like this. We talk about the Sunrise family, but my gosh, we felt it there more than anywhere, and that was a really special time that, I still get teary when I see that.
But that was all under... People didn't realise that was happening. This was all happening behind the scenes. You guys were meeting them all, doing all this behind the scenes. You weren't doing stories on them.
No.
But we figured if we could offer a distraction for families that were going through a really tough time, then hey, let's have a cup of tea.
And this is what the roller coaster is like, because we came off that day after breaking breaking the story, we had to fly to Melbourne, be in the Supreme Court the next day for contempt of court, wasn't it? From a news item that we didn't speak about, but because we hosted the show, up before a judge, and then journos were chasing Mel down the street going, what's it going to be like to be a mother from prison?
That's and the kids are at home and they're 2 and 4, and I remember ringing John saying, don't let them watch TV, don't let them watch television, Mummy's not going to jail.
All 20 of us were lining up going into court. That was horrendous.
It was quite an emotional roller coaster.
But we did have quite a few daggy moments down memory lane. Let's take a look.
Father, 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 help us. It's the guys from above. These people got me questioning. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love?
Where is the love? And then who could forget the beat the recession dancers?
Reject the recession dancers. Weren't they fantastic?
That was the stupidest thing I think we've ever done on this show.
I loved it. Oh my God, that was so funny. Well, that's really going to reject the recession right there.
Where are they now? If you were one of the reject the recession dancers.
The other one, do you remember the campaign we ran, Give Fear the Flick? And people were driving around with bumper stickers saying, Give Fear the Flick. We got to campaign for things that mattered. I think that was probably the most precious thing.
And the Cool the Globe campaigin.
Oh my
this
gosh.
was way before
climate change was in.
It wasn't in there.
Woke before we even knew it.
We didn't realise we were woke.
I know.
Wow.
But it was really, I think it was really precious knowing that there were things that mattered in people's lives, and we could use this to do something with it.
Well, there was no social media, so we just put out stickers.
Put out bumper stickers.
We were so cool.
We had no idea we weren't.
That was so good.
Okay, how did you adjust?
Getting your nights back is the best thing. The morning bit you sleep in, no problem. But it's being able to go out at night and not have to do the 5:30 dinner booking. That's so fun.
Yeah, because we all have to book the kids' time at restaurants, don't we? So
and when they say, I'm sorry, you're going to have to vacate by 8, oh, not a problem, I'll be gone by 7. So you don't have to worry about that now. Have fun, enjoy, especially granddad time. That's going to be the most precious. I'm just so excited for you.
We can hear.
I think I can hear it. That's all right. Don't shush her up.
Don't worry, we don't just shush her. We've got some big... Thank you so much, Mel.
Good on you, mate.
Great trip down memory lane. We have some big surprises still in store for Kochie this morning as we say goodbye. Plus, his whole family, including the grandkids, as you can hear, are here. This is a special edition of Sunrise. Don't go anywhere.
I wish you were. I wish you were.
After 21 years, yes, it's going to be hard to say goodbye, but what an adventure it has been. Sherbo, you are going to love it.
A very big welcome to Matt Sherry.
Kochie leaves big shoes to fill. I'm excited, though, for what's to come.
So great to have Sherbo on the team. This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's all happening.
Oh my goodness.
My shoulders shimmy. Sunrise is the ultimate team, and you never let your team down.
That's a 5-time Australian champion. That takes commitment like nothing else.
He was going to get Trump. Let's go to those extraordinary pictures. It's kind of like Christmas, but even better.
Just like Kochie, family is everything to Sherbo. What matters to him matters to all of us.
Cost of living relief. A Sunrise health alert. Getting a foot on the property ladder.
Welcome,
welcome to Sunrise. Hi.
Close. I'm here too. Cannot tell you the honour and privilege this is, Kochie.
Start with Sunrise with Nat and Sherbo.
Right now.
Well, Sunrise is more than a job. It becomes your whole world, and it's meant Kochie's family have all grown up on TV. Here they are.
Yeah. They've been a huge part of the show. They've been generous enough to put up with my, at times, oversharing.
From Kokoda, as your dad, you know, I think, hey, it was your age that came here.
What I've got out of it is fungus growing in places you can only imagine.
to Kilimanjaro.
The cavalry comes, my two boys here, who stuck with me.
I think my favourite part of the whole thing is on day one, Joe sitting in the car, just says, this is going to be easy.
I've been lucky enough to share some special moments with my family on air.
You know where we're going?
I might.
Why are we back at the airport? There's a plane.
Yeah.
Whoa, a private jet. I feel like Richard Gere with Pretty Woman.
Oh, he doesn't know we're here.
Proposal plans.
We just got a quick phone call. Someone's just rung in. A young man by the name of Toby. Toby, hello.
Hello.
How you going, son?
Yeah, I'm going good.
Now's your moment, Toby. Go for it.
I just thought I should ask David if it was okay if I married his daughter.
Oh, I've got to get all teary now.
Quick, say yes.
Yes, Toby, that'll be fine. And why did you do it earlier?
Weddings and reunions.
What are you doing? Can you stay for the party?
We crashed schoolies as well.
Also, the other big issue, particularly for me and any other parent who has a child on schoolies, is what are they up to? So we're going to do an AJ check at the moment. Hey, dude, where's my schoolies? And let's give him a call. Let's see what he's doing. Is he home yet?
Hi, AJ's phone.
It's a girl.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Candy. Who's this?
This is AJ's dad.
A little nervous. Have you had a good night, Candy?
Is AJ?
Yeah, it's been great.
Excellent.
Is AJ there?
I think he's just in the shower. Hold on.
How's Cam and
Candy?
And not Candy. Cam and Mike going?
They're great. Cam and Mike are planning to get their eyebrow pierced today.
Oh. Now you're not though, are you?
Of course not.
Even the next generation got dragged in.
I've been joined by my grandkids this morning who have woken up from a big night on New Year's Eve. This is Lila, Matilda, Jax and Mr. Talkative Oscar here. Don't look at yourself in the TV. What pyjamas did you all guys get all this year? Because I give you...
Princesses and Batman.
Princesses and Batman.
And the boys got Batman and the girls got princesses.
And who's your favourite football team, Oscar? And he's wearing a Prism Park Guernsey as well.
All the kids are going, that one's me, that one's me, that one's me. Koch's family, obviously here in the studio. Let's start with Libby, the glue that has kept everyone together. Somehow, I don't know how. How are you feeling this morning?
Well, up till today, I was sort of quite sad. And Dave's like, no, you've got to be strong. You can't be sad. And I'm like, right, I'll be stoic. And now it's just like this celebration because I'm seeing all these people like Mel and Sam Armitage and Monique that I haven't seen for ages. And so I've been having a blast, you know, greeting people and I'm like, yeah, I feel like a party. And then I think tonight we really flat. So we'll pick each other up.
It's not all downhill from here, don't worry. Sam, now you were the first to get married and we heard that call. He does this whole father of the bride thing where he made your fiance call in.
I know. So Toby didn't ask for permission before he proposed, and so naturally Dad took that issue to the Sunrise viewers on the Sunrise soapbox, and they emailed in, and then Dave Walters, I think, got Toby on the phone and got him to call in and formally ask for Dad's blessing for our marriage. No pressure.
No, but to give Toby his due, it was Sam that said to Toby, this is a modern... It's a dinosaur to ask your future father-in-law for permission. You don't need to do it. I'm an independent woman.
Oh, gosh, that was funny. And AJ, you've been to outside broadcasts. You've been embarrassed many times by your father.
Yeah, a couple.
But it was good to get one back on the Candy.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah. Unfortunately, it was a setup, but I kind of wish it was real. And I still haven't met the mysterious Candy, but one day.
It was good to see the look on his face.
That was excellent. I'd totally forgotten about that.
Was that one of your favourite moments of him being on TV?
Oh yeah, it's up there. Yeah, there's been some good ones. He's shared way too much about us.
Have you yelled at him sometimes?
Not me, the girls have. I get left out. He overshares with them, and on the WhatsApp group we've got, they're always telling him, this cannot leave this WhatsApp group.
I'm just telling my friends, it's like, Dad, your friends are like, look, they're not just like 10 people. Like, it's a whole, that's not like keeping it like hush hush.
But at one stage, when they all first started uni, I would be leaving home at sort of 3 o'clock, 3:30, and I'd bump into them on the way out as they were coming in. Morning, Dad. Yeah, morning. What time do you think this is?
Because, Brie, you were, 17 when he first started? That's an awkward age to have your dad start on a show like this.
A show like this especially, like, I guess Sam and I kind of eased into it. Like, Dad was just this nerdy finance journo, like 11 a.m. with Ann Sanders, and then he did like the finance for the early days of Sunrise. So we were just like pottering about our life, and then you got AJ and Georgie, who like grew up in the world of like Sunrise. Like Georgie going to the Melbourne Cup at 15 maybe in the bird cage. I would still love an invitation to that. Like AJ getting his schoolies, phone in from schoolies. So it was a very different. We kind of laugh about it at home. It was like the pre and post life of the job, I guess.
And Georgie, every time we blink, you're somewhere else in the world. We keep having to ship you in.
I mean, I'm grateful to be here with the family, but it's not always me coming here. I've really been so lucky the last few years, especially. I know Dad takes these assignments to London, even if he maybe doesn't want to, but purely so he can spend time with me. So I'm very grateful for that as well. So I'll miss those trips or our lunch dates when you come over to London.
No, he'll still come. He'll just have to pay. Exactly.
So it won't be as often.
No, exactly. Grandkids, have we got a message for Poppy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we just want to say that we're so proud of you and the commitment you've shown to Sunrise, getting up so early the past 21 years. It means, and we're so proud of you.
Thank you, Matilda.
Who
said to me when I announced I was retiring from Sunrise, so proud of you, Poppy, but can you still get Taylor Swift tickets?
I think that's the only reason you still do Sunrises. To get Wiggles and Taylor Swift.
He will.
Lila
and Carol's in the demand.
Gorgeous Lila here, our brother.
I know. Thank you all for coming in. This is so beautiful.
I'm just really proud of you for doing such a good job for 21 years, and we love you.
That's so gorgeous. Thank you, guys. Now, we have a big surprise for you all. If you could all get up on your feet, Koch family. We are out to the plaza, and we've got a big surprise in store. Follow me.
Have we got everyone?
Everyone.
Number off. Do a sound off. 1, 2, 3.
I wonder what I could bet. What is this?
Come on, Koshes.
You go first. You go
Come on.
Watch out. A surprise around the corner.
Are we ready? All the kids, grandkids. Ready?
Congratulations, Koshi. We'll be back with more of Koshi's final day in just a minute.
Be your assistance to really be supporting us, has turned many lives of us. Thank you so much, David, for your support.
We're grateful for the Koch Centre, meaning what it has for generations of Macquarie Fields. And still, what are we doing? We're living the legacy. Thank you. With all our hearts, thank you.
I
That's Jan Nicol, who is the matriarch of Macquarie Field. One of the loveliest lady. And the young bloke beforehand now runs a youth outreach centre in Dili in East Timor, which we help.
So many.
Lib put him through uni. And
because Lib's done so much work in East Timor.
He was part of the orphanage in Bagia. Lib sent him to uni, and now he's doing stuff in the community in Dili.
Yep.
So
And that's
really proud of him. Really proud of him.
and so much of that behind the scenes work that lots of people don't see. So that was beautiful. And now, bit of a change of pace. Our next guest needs no introduction. No farewell would be complete without him. Here is our favourite German and international superstar, Hans.
Oh yes, Koshi. It's time to give you a proper German farewell, darling, by saying to you, there's a sad sort of clanging from the clock in the hall and the bells in the steeple too. And up in the nursery, an absurd little bird is popping out to say cuckoo. Girls, oh my gosh, regretfully they tell us, firmly they tell us, say goodbye. Come on, Koshi! Farewell, I'll say goodnight. I hate to go and leave this pretty sight. Hi, darlings. Yes, here we go. So long, farewell. I'll do the same adieu, adieu, adieu to you and you and you. Dankeschön, darling. So long, farewell. I'll be the same goodnight. I leave and heave as I say goodnight. Good night. Come on, darlings. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you. Don't forget me, I remember you say sometimes it lasts, but sometimes it hurts instead. All together, darlings. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. His name's Max Sherrington. I wish nothing but the best for you. 1, 2, 3. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Despite the fact that you ditched me for Sherbo before I'm even cold.
That's showbiz, kid. What can I
Well, back on Koshi, what would you say would be your favourite Koshi moment?
You know what, Koshi? I think my favorite thing is just, how much of an inspiration you've been. You've been such a help to me. And I think, to inspiring all those people out there wanting to get into media, you've shown us all that, looks aren't everything. And I think that's to be commended. Yes.
Any words for Sherbo?
Oh, yes, I do have some, but none that we can broadcast. None that we can broadcast. But, you know, I want to see what Sherva looks like in 21 years. If it's anything like this, we're in for a treat, aren't we? Yes.
Okay, your final message for Kochie Hahn.
I will see you in Adelaide.
Yes.
The first lunch is on you.
Well, it'll be at a port game. With the family.
Oh my gosh, that would be my first time at the football. And you know they say, you never forget your first.
Your eyeshadow already matches. Beautiful.
I know, exactly.
Mate, thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you.
wonderful.
And please, can I give it up for Fat Brass? And the Australian Girls Choir.
We are back with even more of you guys right after this as we say a very special farewell to Kochie.
Hey Kochie, Beck and Neil Danaher here. Congratulations on an amazing 21 years at Sunrise, entertaining and informing Australians. On a personal note, thank you so much for joining the fight against MND. You took on the ultimate sacrifice back in 2016 when you dressed as Olaf and went into Australia's coldest ice bath. Thank you so much and all the best for whatever comes next.
Oh, that means so much.
It really does. That's AFL icon, of course, Neil Danaher and his daughter Beck. For Neil to be standing for that is extraordinary. Yeah. MND has taken his voice, but he refuses to stay silent as he campaigns for research into that disease.
And don't forget, this is the big weekend, Australia.
Yes.
Buy your beanies, wear them to the footy. We'll be wearing ours this weekend and for Thursday night's game against the Cats. Support them. Just wonderful.
Yeah, Coles and Bunnings you can get those for. And for him to be standing up like that was really special.
Yes.
So thank you very much, Neil. Now, Kochie, the time has come after 21 years on our screens to say goodbye, but I can't let you go without saying a few words. I've been at Channel 7 for 28 years. And for 20 of those, I've sat at the same desk as you, the Sunrise desk. In a world that tells us every day how to act and what to say, you have shown Australia that what is important is being yourself. No other 6'4" bald guy would go on national TV and make bets of a bottle of red wine with the National Treasurer that he has got his figures wrong. Or walk into the studio, knot their tie around their head as a bandana, sing their heart out to INXS and honestly believe they can carry a note. It sounds easy, but I believe the hardest thing to do in this job is to listen. You do that for every guest, every single day, because you care. You care about people, you are interested in their lives, the guests, and everyone who works here around you. You have shown us all that a workplace, even a TV show, can have a heart and a soul. It is an incredible legacy and a proud foundation for the future of Sunrise. People ask me everywhere I go, every single day, what is Kochie really like? He is emotional, more than you would think. He shows us that in the end, family is all that matters because he lives for his and Port Adelaide. We'll see. But also that it is important to take pride in what you do, whatever that is. He is a leader who is so proud of this show that started off so very small and grew so big, but at its centre still maintains its heart. For the last 20 years, I have sat at that desk with him and watched as he gets to the core of an interview and cuts through all the PR and all the bull, and I have learned so much. We have travelled across Australia and around the world, and through thousands and thousands of hours of live television, we have laughed, and we have laughed, and we have laughed, and we have cried quite a few times too. What's he really like? He is one of the best friends I will ever have in my life, and I will treasure the years we have had on air. And I know there will be many, more years together, they will just look a little bit different. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness.
Stay with us. We have one more surprise there for Koch.
No!
And his final thoughts. This is Sunrise.